Shall I start, sir? Thank you. A very good morning to Honorable Vice Chancellor, Colonel Professor Dr. Hemlata Bagla, respected deans and directors, esteemed speakers, faculty members, and our dear students. On behalf of HSNC University Mumbai, I, Ms. Karishma Malhotra, extend a warm welcome to each one of you to today's third day session of Master Induction Series. At HSNC University, we believe that education is not limited to academic excellence alone. It is equally about building empathy, equity, and a sense of belonging, where every individual feels valued and encouraged. In line with this vision, we have come together today for a very significant dialogue on the theme Antarchakshu, becoming an inclusive pair. The word Antarchakshu means the inner eye, the ability to look beyond differences and to see, understand, and respect each other. In today's diverse and interconnected world, being an inclusive peer is both a value and responsibility that we must nurture as students, educators, and future leaders. To guide us in this important conversation, we are privileged to have with us two distinguished speakers from XRCVC, Xavier's Resource Center for Visually Challenged, Mr. Ketan Kothari, who brings over 30 years of experience in advancing disability inclusion through inclusive education, assistive technology, and policy advocacy. At XRCVC, he leads program development, training, and policy initiatives, and also contributes to National Expert Committee Accessibility and Disability Rights. His remarkable work has been recognized with several prestigious awards, including Diversibility D30, Disability Impact List 2025. We also have with us Ms. Disha Kapadia, who works on policy engagement, awareness programs, research, and stakeholder collaborations for promoting the inclusion of persons with disability at XRCVC. She holds a master's degree in applied psychology and HRM and brings valuable corporate and HR experience. We are truly grateful and welcome our esteemed speakers, our Honorable Vice Chancellor Ma'am, Deans, Registrars, Directors, Faculty members for joining us today. Thank you so much, everyone. Over to Ms. Disha.
Thank you, Karishma. Thank you for the introductions. Good morning, everyone.
Morning, ma'am.
I believe everyone's on mute. Will it be possible to unmute them for 1 minute so that I know they are here?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
I need a
Good
vibe
morning,
check.
ma'am.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
People are
morning, ma'am.
awake and here.
Good morning, ma'am.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, I would like to begin the session just as I like to begin my day. So, a big word of gratitude for everyone. Firstly, to everyone at the HSNC University for inviting us to be a part of this conversation today. I am so glad that, this has become a part of the induction, because this is something that really needs to be spoken about. Students with disabilities are everywhere, or people with disabilities are everywhere, and you'll probably just not know you're sitting next to somebody with a disability sometimes, because not all disabilities are visible. So having this conversation with you is such an important, it's great that we are having this conversation with you. Thank you to all of you for coming in at 10 a.m. in the morning for this session. I know attendance is compulsory, but we always have choices, and thank you for making the choice to be here. I'll quickly share my screen. Please give me 1 second. Yes. Is it visible to all now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. Okay. I'm just going to put it on the PPT mode. Which one is visible for us? Is the PPT visible in a PPT mode? I'm sorry, I'm just checking because I'm not seeing a preview here because of the
Yeah.
internet, I think. Okay, all right. I see what I am sharing. Yes. All right. And another word of gratitude to all the people who support our work. Their presence makes it possible for us to reach you. Their support makes it possible for us to continue our work and reach everyone. So a big thank you to them also. Okay, I'm just. Okay. I'm not being able to see it. Just give me 1 second. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get into a mode where I can see all of you and what is being shared. Okay, fair enough. So now we'll begin with a quick exercise first, for which I would ask all of you to have a paper and pen handy. Do we have papers and pens with us?
Yes, ma'am, we do.
Okay, wonderful. I am assuming everyone will have a paper and pen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you, I'm going to share a quick slide with you. It's a very short poem. Okay. And just checking how much time do you think it would take for you to write it down if you had to? Any answers? Very short poem, 10-line poem. If you had to copy it down from the screen to your pens and paper, with your pens and papers on your pages, how much time do you think you would take?
A minute, 2 minute max.
A minute, 2 minutes. Wow. Was okay. Let me think. 30 seconds. Okay, I'm here. I'm getting a 30 seconds. I'm very happy to hear a 30 seconds. Anybody else? If you can put it in chat also in case you can't unmute yourself. Just put it in chat. 15 seconds. Wow, we are being competitive here. No, but I think 15 is a little too short. But you can try any of 15 seconds. So if everyone can turn on their videos and show me the pens and papers that they have. 45 seconds, yes, that sounds a little more reasonable somewhere. Yes, if everyone can show me your papers and pens, turn on your videos, please. Show me your papers and pens, please. Okay, okay. I see pens and papers coming in. I see pens and papers coming in. Okay, everyone's holding their pens in the hands they usually write with. Yes, looks like it is, okay? So you have to switch. If you're a right-handed person, you will write with your left hand. If you're a left-handed person, you will write with your right hand. So you're going to write with your non-dominant hand. The poem is right here on the board for you. Can everyone see it? Once I have a confirmation, I will... Can everyone see it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so once I have a confirmation, I'll start 45 seconds on the clock. And your time starts now. Please write. Very neat handwriting. Please make sure all your professors are here, some of them at least. It's your introduction to them. Yes. I see some people writing. If you guys could keep your videos on, we can keep you all you're on mute, but at least I'll be able to see if you are being able to do the activity. If you could keep your videos on, please.
Is the poem visible?
No. Okay, hold on. I heard a yes. That's why I'm checking. Hold on. Is it now visible?
Yes.
Yes.
I see. What has happened is
It's visible now,
yes.
but yeah. Now it's gone.
It's gone. Okay, hold on. Let me just take a second to understand what's okay, hold on. And let me just share it. Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Thank you. I'll restart the clock for those who need it. We'll give you another 30 seconds. 15 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Please put your pens down. Please put your pens down. If you could turn on the camera and show me what you have written so far and hold it for a minute or so, because I'm going to go through the windows and see. Yes. Some people are holding it up. Some people are holding it up. Yes, I'm still on screen too. Please give me a second. Oh. Still to see a few. I'm seeing very few ones. Some people have still not turned on their cameras. The poem that was there on the screen, you had to write it with your non-dominant hand. Aryan has asked that question. Yes, so I'm seeing. So for those who attempted it, how was it? If you could unmute yourself and maybe raise your hands actually first, and I'll come to you. How was it? Yes, Arya, can you unmute yourself? And Gurkirat, I'll come to you after that. Arya?
It was quite difficult.
Yes, it was difficult. Why do you think it was difficult?
We don't use that hand mostly.
Right, right. It was something different you had to do. Gurkirat, if you could share your thoughts on what the activity was like for you.
It was hard because I always write with right hand, and first time writing with left hand was little different experience and difficult.
Right, right. So it was a different experience. It was difficult for you. I'm sorry, I can't see your name fully. Abdullah, is that right? Please unmute yourself and
My,
tell us, and Aryan will come to
my,
you.
my name is Abdul Ahad.
Abdullah.
And
Okay, I couldn't see your full name.
Abdul-
Sorry.
writing with I'm usually write with the right hand, and writing with left hand it found me difficult, very difficult to write since I have the practice of writing with the right hand. So I think the network was like, so it was difficult for me, very
Understood.
difficult.
Understood. Thank you for sharing that with us. Umeshwari.
Uh, yes, miss.
Yes,
I
please.
couldn't even hold the pen with my left hand. It was falling from my hand.
Right. Understandable. Disha and Aryan. Aryan, I know we were to come to you, but your hand dropped, so I didn't come to you. Disha, hi, namesake.
It was extremely challenging. My brain totally got confused because it's so not used to this at all, but it was worth trying, I guess.
Thank you for trying. Aryan?
Ma'am, it was very tough to write with the left hand. Right now, my left hand is paining.
Oh, I hope it's okay. Just give it a bit of a this thing. So for all those who have shared with me or those who were, doing it as we were going on, can I ask you a question or a couple of questions? And if you can't answer them, just put your answers in the chat. Was the task difficult to understand? What you had to do, was that difficult to understand?
No.
No, ma'am, it
Right.
wasn't difficult to understand.
Right. Was the poem difficult to understand?
No.
No.
ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am, it wasn't difficult as it was
Right.
a nursery rhyme.
Right. And I'm seeing a lot of no's from everyone. So it was not, neither was the task difficult, nor was the understanding difficult. It was the way the task was designed. So this is something we bring out as far as neurodevelopmental disabilities are concerned, which includes your range from ADHD to autism to a lot of other disabilities. It's not that it will always be a intellectual this thing. It's not that they don't understand what needs to be done. It's the way the task is designed that makes it difficult for them to do it most times. Maybe it's the way we socially communicate, or maybe it's the way you have to read, write, and take your exams. Okay, so that is something we wanted to bring out through this exercise. Now, for the next exercise, I need 2 volunteers. How sweet. Friends and me used to write with our opposite hands. So I hope you've completed the poem, and I don't know which one of them is your name, but Ahmad, if you've completed the poem, I want you to send me a screenshot in the chat or a photo in the chat. Yes, Siddha wants to volunteer for the next activity. Anyone else who can volunteer? One more person.
I would like to do.
Abdullah, can we wait for someone else to try and volunteer? If no one volunteers in the next minute, I'll give you. Oh, Siddha has put his hand down.
Okay, ma'am.
What? Did you raise your hand by mistake, Sid? Yes.
No, ma'am,
Wow.
I will.
Wonderful. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. Someone else would like to volunteer? 184 people here. I'm finding it hard to find 2 volunteers. I'm surprised. Yes, Aryan Gurkirat, you've already answered the question. I'd like to be able to give someone else a chance also. Thank you for volunteering. I'm happy to see your enthusiasm, but if we could just see if someone else would like to. Shubh. Okay, so we have two. Shubh and Sid. Okay. Sid has again gone off, but he's here. Yes, all right. He's just unraised his hand. Okay. So how comfortable are you with colors, Sid and Shubh?
Pretty comfortable.
Normal colors, I will guess.
Yes, so you are very comfortable with colors. I think your basics, so we learn since we are what in KGs. So comfortable with colors. All right. So if I asked you to name the colors, 20 colors by reading on the slide, what are the colors that the text is written in? Happy to do it?
Sure.
Sid and yes, okay, one of you will have to unmute. Sid, can you go first since you volunteered first? So what I'm going to do is show you a few words in certain colors. Your task is to name the color. Don't read the word, name the color. Sid, go first, please. And those who are still on mute can try it on your own also. Sid, you're still on mute. If you're reading, I can't hear you. Sid, you have to read it aloud
So
for
it's
everyone.
green, red, yellow, black, brown, violet. Yeah, so violet, black,
Yes.
oh, sorry, orange, blue, uh, green. Shall I continue?
Green is correct after that.
Brown, yellow,
Yes.
violet, red, uh, blue. Sorry,
Blue, I heard you. Yes, next one, please.
sorry, ma'am.
I can hear you. Next one, please.
Hello. Yeah, then green, pink, black, orange, and yellow.
Thank you, Sid. Please keep your hand raised and stay with us while Shubh reads
Hello.
it. Yes, Sid, we can hear you.
Do I
Yes,
start?
Shubh. Yes.
Green, red, yellow, black, brown, purple, orange, blue, green, pink, brown, yellow, purple, red, blue, green, pink, black, orange, yellow.
Yeah. You had someone go before you, so you had a bit of a practice
Yes.
session, I guess. All right.
Well,
So,
what I tried to do was I just closed my one and blurred the other, so I couldn't read the text, but I could see the colors.
so you had to really do something in there to get it going, right? Sid, how was the experience for you since you went first?
Uh, Starting, I went well, but then in middle, something was difficult in middle to continue.
Sorry, Sid, I couldn't hear the last part very clearly. If you could come probably closer to your microphone,
Hello.
or there is some network issue. I'm not sure which one it is. Or just put it in the chat if you can, because
So, ma'am, in the starting, I went well, but then in the middle, due to the color,
color and the... You're on mute, Sid. All right, fair enough. Okay. Raise your hand if you also tried doing it while you were still on mute. You can raise your hands. Someone tried, some few people tried. I see Hiteksha, Janice, Abdullah tried, Disha tried, Mishmi tried, Arya tried, Siddharth tried, Shamika tried, Anas tried, Aryan tried. Want to drop a line in the chat about how that experience was for you? Yes. Star, really difficult. Yes. Manasvi says it was really difficult. Sid says start went well, but in the middle I was a bit confused. Naturally, that we heard. It was a bit confusing. It was challenging. Abdullah says it was a bit confusing. Arya says start was difficult, then it went easily. Madhav says on first try it was quite hard, but then it went good in second try. Of course, you got some practice there. Gurkirat says, I've already played this game, so it's okay-ish for me. Then Mohammed says it was disorienting initially. Disha says confusing at first and got the hang of it. Janice says it took extra effort to separate the color from the word. So from what I understand, all of you went through something that people with disabilities or other, particularly your neurodevelopmental disabilities, undergo on an everyday basis. It's called cognitive overload. This was just a small example of it. The reason why we are doing these activities here is for us to understand that what is probably the experience of people with disabilities on an everyday basis, right? Confusing but doable, of course, of course. Gaurav Sadhwani says I did it a bit slower than them, but it was not that hard. Yes, yes. So there may be some, some time it might take, but it's not doable. Okay, and that's a message that I want you to take from these two activities, because you kept trying and you were able to do it. It may have been hard, especially because it was completely new for you in the first place. Okay, so now for the next activity also, I need you to take your pens and papers out. Okay, it's a very simple reflection exercise that we are going to do. Let me just change the slide, please, quickly. Yes, so this is a simple activity we are going to do. It's called different starting points. Okay, now for this, what I need you to do is take out a pen and paper. I will be sharing some simple statements with you. Okay, they're very simple statements of everyday experiences. I need you to think about them. And if, they apply to you most of the times, not one odd time nahi apply karta, so we don't score ourselves on it because everyone has their ups and downs in terms of days. But give yourself 1 point for every statement that is mostly true for you. And at the end, please note your total. Okay. Shall I start with the activity? Is everyone, can everyone give me a, I don't know, raised hands if you have understood the activity? Just
Ma'am, can you
people-
repeat once?
Yes. So the next few statements, I have 15 statements for you, which are about everyday experiences. Read through them and give yourself 1 point for each statement that applies for you most of the times. Not one or you weren't able to do this or you weren't able to do this. That's not how it is. Okay. If 80% of the times that statement applies to you, just give yourself a point. Okay. And note your total at the end. Okay. We are going to write it in big and we are going to show it to the camera so that everyone can see. So please keep your cameras ready. I see a lot of raised hands. So I'm assuming most people have understood the activity. I'll give you 1 minute or a couple of seconds to prepare yourself for that activity before I share the screen. Okay. All right. Here goes. I'll read it out along also for those who need that. So one, most buildings I visit are easy for me to enter. If it holds true for you most of the times, give yourself 1 point. 2, getting from one place to another using common transport options such as buses, metro, trains, auto usually work for me. 3, I can understand instructions without needing extra explanation or formats. 4, notices on boards, WhatsApp groups, or emails are easy generally for me to get information from. 5, my health or energy levels don't often interfere with my daily plans. 6, noise levels, lighting, seating rarely affect my ability to participate in lectures, meetings, and other activities. 7, long days or fixed schedules are generally manageable for me. 8, I usually find everyday systems easy to work with. 9, I can easily take part in social, cultural, and extracurricular activities of my choice. And even if you have auditioned but not made it to the team, this still applies to you. 10, I'm generally treated the same as others in most situations. Okay, going to the next slide, 5 more. I'm typically spoken to directly rather than through others. 12, I'm generally included directly in discussions that involve me. And don't think only of your parents or your elders here. That's a different thing, but in general, discussions that involve you. 13, people's behavior toward me is generally relaxed and normal. 14, people don't usually assume what I can or cannot do. 15, class notes, textbooks, diagrams, learning materials are easily available to me in formats I need. Has everyone, if you've completed the activity, please raise your hand. I see about 10, 12 raised hands. Numbers going up to almost 20, 25 now, I believe. Yes. Could wait for a few more hands to go up. Yes. Okay. So now I think people have started doing it. So I think it's a good idea. What we can do is we can put our scores in the chat. Put your scores in the chat. Yes, I see some 9s, some 10s, some 13s, 15s, 5 or 6 I see 14, 15. Yes, 12s, 12s, 11s. Can everyone see the scores, or I am reading out to them so they know what the scores are looking like? Someone said 2 out of 15. So all of you, same classroom, similar courses, same university, but really think about it. Everyday experiences, everyone has a different starting point. Think about it. Think about the sentences or the statements we just read. Simple, regular, everyday experiences of people. Was there any rocket science in any of the statements that we discussed? Classrooms, your extracurriculars, your co-curriculars. And this is where we start at depending on where we are at. Some statements may have seemed strange to you, but they are actual real experiences. I know the lighting and the seating may have seemed strange, or I'm usually told that spoken to directly, I don't get it. Why would someone not be spoken to directly? Fair enough.
Deaf people, I think they need to be talked to in sign language. So like a transcriber, maybe.
That's just one of the things. You will be amazed. And we'll discuss it. We'll discuss it. So hold on to the thoughts. Actually, put your hands down, everyone. And now, if anyone wants to share their thoughts on the activities we did so far, we'll take a minute or two to do that. I'm assuming the raised hands are now of the people who want to have a say. Okay. Can we start with Aryan? Okay, he's put his hand down. Ahana. Ahana, how do I pronounce your name? Could you unmute yourself? Ahana, you are on mute. Okay, hold on. I'll ask her to unmute. Till then, Sahil, if you have something to share with us about your experience. And Sahil's put his hand down. Gurkirat, I hope your hand is up because you want to say something.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Gurkirat, please go ahead.
Ma'am, it's like we can't judge anyone if someone cannot do something. Everyone is built differently. So the 13 point is written that people's behavior towards me is generally relaxed and normal. So for me, it's normal. But for some people who may be facing some problem with studies or anything, we can't judge them. We can help them in spite of judging them and giving them looks and talking about them behind their back and being toxic.
Thank you for sharing that. That is a good thought process to start with. Gurkirat, thank you for sharing that. Disha.
I think the activities were so interesting because what is our normal is not actually their normal, and the things that
Okay,
they
just
struggle
checking
with
out
every
this.
single day, and they do it somehow. We
For
couldn't
today,
do
I'm
it, like the
dealing with
colors
this.
and everything. So
It is
it's
like
very, very interesting to do these
1.2
activities.
Thank you for sharing that, and thank you for thinking about the things that that probably have come to the surface now, and we'll take the discussion ahead. We will surely take the discussion ahead on these also. Anyone else? Let me see if the chats have come up with something new. If you can put your questions in the chat if you can't unmute yourself. There is noisy around here. Yes, Sahil, that one was for you. If you are not able to, Ahana, thank you for sharing that loud noises affect you and strong lights. There are very few people who can understand this kind of space. Okay. Sahil, if you can't put your thoughts because it's noisy around you, you can put your message here in the chat and I will have a look at it. Anyone else has any thoughts about the activities that we did today? Yes, Janice.
Ma'am, through these activities, I came to understand that we take all these abilities to do these small things so for granted because we think, oh, it's so normal, it's so easy because I can walk or I can take a step on a staircase or I can pick up something heavy or I can see something or something like loud noises doesn't affect me. But I don't see that this is such a big blessing that I am able to do these simple things also. Whereas some other people cannot handle these things or cannot do these things. It becomes so difficult for them. So this is the understanding that I got from these activities. It really gave me a new perspective.
Thank you for sharing that, Janice. I am glad that some new perspectives have opened up for you as we went through the activities. And just hold on to that thought because we are going to tie all of this up also because we this session is for a bit longer, so we'll hold all of this. So yes, Sahil has said that in the chat that I got to know about I should try to understand other. Yes, thank you for opening your minds to more perspectives. As I said, everyone has a different point of view, says Hiteksha. Madhav says after being perfectly able and not being able to
Should we
complete first
begin with how
activity.
many ever people are there right now?
Sorry, Kritika, do you have something to share?
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Kritika Mondal.
Okay, let's start.
Kritika, can you please? Yes, thank you. I think she was on another conversation. So first activity was frustrating, Madhav says, but second, it was kind of easy as it was done before. Yes. Aryan says he thinks it is difficult, that they cannot see the beautiful creation of the God, which hits him in a hard way. Much respect for them, Aryan, we will take up this thought also when Ketan comes in because he'll be joining us now. So you've heard much of his introduction because Karishma ma'am was so kind enough to introduce him, and that still captures a little bit about his, uh, introduction. Let me add a few more aspects of his life and his career here so that you get a more perspective. So Ketan is in his time and a gold medalist from the University of Mumbai, MA in political science. He has 30 years of working experience in the disability sector. He started with some really important uh, players in the field, organizations in the field like National Association for the Blind, NAB India at Worli. Many of you may have heard of it. He's also worked with Sight Savers. It's an international organization working in the space of vision loss, rather preventive vision loss. And then he's joined XRCVC as managing consultant programs. Lots of awards over there as a part of the whole thing. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to understand. I cannot see the whole video actually. So Ketan will be joining us. He also happens to live with blindness. He was born blind, has lived with his blindness all his life. Okay, so that was another aspect of him that wanted to share with all of you. Today, Ketan will be joining us so that you all can, and I'm sure you have probably come across people with disabilities or have not, but you may have always had questions. Karishma, has Ketan tried to join in? I don't know who is the host here.
I'll just check, ma'am. I'll just check.
Yes, he's
Am
here.
I
Yeah, he's
There
here.
he
Yeah.
is.
am I visible?
No, your camera seems to be off, I think.
I don't know. Yeah, this. Oh, 1 minute. Just a second. Oh yeah.
The physical this thing.
I don't know where the stupid thing is. 1 minute, huh?
Ketan,
Okay. I think
on
it
top of
is.
the camera switch, you've turned it off now.
I have turned it off.
Yes, black take you. You need to slide it
Lovely.
the other way.
Okay, now.
has joined the meeting.
Yes, but there is darkness in your room. Light
Oops.
needs
1
to be
minute.
on.
1 minute. I know why there is darkness. Just a second. Just a second.
So
I
while
hope
he
I-
figures out that, Karishma is smiling because this is not, she's already interacted with him before. I see that
Is
big
it
smile
better?
on your face. Right. So while we are here,
Hello?
you know, yes, Ketan, we can see you. There is blurry, which it's quite blurry your camera, but I think we'll just go with what is happening and
No,
we'll figure.
blurry because the
Then you have to
signals
come in
are
the
not very
foreground.
great.
You
Okay.
have to come in the foreground then.
And I have no idea. Yeah, this whole video thing.
Okay, so just
I'm
come
afraid
in the
we'll have to live with
foreground.
what we have now. मेरी आवाज ही पहचान है.
Huh.
That's nice, Ketan. We'll go ahead with that. Go ahead.
So I'm so sorry for the technology.
No problem. We understand. Go ahead.
So, good morning, sir, and good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
Vaswada Bro has joined.
And I'm sorry, the screen reader has a tendency of telling me who goes and who comes in. So I'm trying to put the control pay my fingers so that it doesn't talk. But well, there we are. Technology has its own pluses and minuses. So yes. So I was listening to the discussion that Disha was having with students, and it was very interesting. So over my so many years of experiences, now I have realized there is no such thing as a normal thing, because ultimately normality is set by the majority of the group that is present at a particular given time, right? So there's no such thing. Everything is normal for the person who is viewing it. Yeah. For example, in my case, darkness is normal. If you were to put me in light, I would not know, because as I always joke, and I'm born blind. So as I say, I'm blind to seeing. I don't know what seeing is. So I always say, and I don't have eyeballs, by the way, one of those rare eye conditions. So I always say that no bulb, no fuse. क्योंकि eyeballs ही नहीं है, तो obviously I can't. I mean, the optic nerves, etc., can't be used. So that is how I view my life, and I joke about it. But blindness doesn't seem to have stopped much of my life. There are ways that we find about, for instance, I still enjoy FIFA World Cup, and I enjoy the Wimbledon that is going on. This time not following so closely though, but yes, cricket of course always, and I'm waiting that India will lose again today. I believe today is the match. Yes. So there we are. I mean, so I don't think blindness or disability, it's just that we do things differently. We do everything, but, and why I am telling you all this is that you may have your friends in your classes or within the campus who are different, as you all were discussing earlier. But you need not, firstly, you need not be too sympathetic or pitiful towards them. Sometimes I can always misuse your pity, okay, without you ever knowing it. So don't do that. Just be equal, only help them if and when they need it. And believe me, living with disability is difficult, just as any life is difficult, but it's not impossible. So sir would remember we had met him in cold Delhi evening, all the way from some long place, and then we had to go somewhere else again in the same auto, and very cold Delhi evening, December evening. Those of you who have been to the north would relate with me. And my disability never stopped me. कि अभी 7:30 बज गया, अभी कैसे जाओगे? All that never happened. And on that particular day, we reached home at about 11 p.m. Knowing fully well that the next day we had an important function to attend. So we lead as normal a life as anybody else does. Okay. We have our difficulties, we have our pleasures, have our families to look after. So all the responsibilities that anybody else would be taking as an adult, we are also expected to take and fulfill them properly. It's not that just because you are disabled, society is going to give you some concession. As we say in Marathi, चार दिवस पाहुणा, पाचव्या दिवशी you have to live the way people at home live. So it's like you are only guest for a few days. Then the treatment will be as normal, I mean, as good, bad, or ugly as for anybody else. So it's a life full of fun and depression like anybody else would have. So I don't think disability makes my life more depressing. In fact, sometimes it does make my life more interesting, in the sense that I get to know the people as they are, because many times they don't realize that they're talking in front of a blind person, and they try to whisper, fully realizing, or rather not realizing that I can also be listening. Some people think I'm blind as well as deaf. So it's fun, So वो बोलते रहते हैं, and then you let them know that you heard all the conversation at the most inopportune time for them. And then they get embarrassed. अरे नहीं आपके बारे में नहीं बात हो रही थी. So it's fun, So why I'm talking to you all is that if you have ever had any questions about disability, because now disabled people are seen all around all of us. So if you've ever seen anything, if you had any questions ever, you can be free in asking. I think this is a very safe space. We are all online, and nobody is going to hold anybody accountable, in the sense that, and we can ask our queries responsibly and get them sorted. Now, whatever replies I give are my experiences and my views. They need not necessarily always be general views. They are in most cases, but not always. So we can have this interesting discussion. Since I'm not hearing anybody's voice, I am assuming that I am still audible to
Yes,
all.
Ketan, you are. You are quite audible to all.
Yep.
And if anyone is not being able to unmute themselves or reach out via audio, you can put your queries in chat and I'll be happy to read them out if needed, Ketan.
I stopped the video temporarily so that the signals are better.
Understood.
Yeah.
Please don't feel afraid if this is a right or wrong question. You can ask anything. This is going to be the safest space you will ever have. Raise your hand and ask a question.
Raise hand.
Yes.
Please name yourselves.
If you raise your hand, just unmute yourself.
It's better to ask questions verbally than putting them in the chat because I don't like screen reader reading out to me.
Yeah.
Charles Cole BA. Music production has joined the meeting.
I'm quite amazed that there are no questions, no points that can be raised. I like the point that Gurkirath had raised earlier, actually, about the term normal.
Chat from Xiaomi 25028PC03I has left the meeting. Clickable
Okay.
more audio.
Ketan, can I ask you a question?
G.
Yeah, tell us about your college days. How did you feel when you went to college? How was your experience with teachers teaching you, or how did you handle the blackboard, or how did you manage to take notes? If you can just talk about your college days on these lines, that would be great learning for everyone.
So, sir, when I went to college, those were the years, long years ago, from 1986 to 1991. And back then, the level of awareness amongst the people about disability was not so great. People still had that charitable mindset. Having said that, the college that I went to, and there was no specific plan. I only went to that college. Earlier, I had planned to go to Xavier's, but because it was far from where I stayed, I stayed at Matunga back then, Matunga Western Railway place, Matunga Road. And I went to SIES College of Arts, Science and Commerce at Sion. And initially, since I had taken arts, there were about 4 to 5 boys in my class, excluding me. And I came from Marathi medium, so I was very scared of the whole situation where most of the people conversed in English, and girls were around because I don't have a sister. I'm the only child, so I was not used to conversing with the opposite gender. And people were very hesitant initially to help also, because back then there was not so much of awareness. I remember I requested a girl, because my Hindi lectures were held in a different class. And I requested a girl on the 4th or the 5th day that could you please take me to the Hindi class by holding hand. And the reply that she gave me, I mean, I was so sad. She said, well, I don't hold any boy. So what you do is you follow my chappal sound. Now the problem is there were so many people walking. I could hear like 50, 60 chappals. So I don't know what that Rekha's chappal sounded like. So it was a very, initially a very difficult time. I almost thought, why have I become blind? But all that changed the moment I got my first unit test result, because I had topped the entire class. We had about 4 divisions in first year junior college, and I had topped the class, not only my division but the class. So then I never had to look back all my 5 years. I had excellent time in SIES college. Um, used to argue a lot with and I did my masters in political science, so I was a political science student, had lots of arguments in the class with professors about political theory and all those things. And in those days they encouraged that kind of argument, debates, all those things. But despite that, one of my professors, who was actually a very busy voiceover person in Tamil and Malayalam, Miss Gayatri Narayan, took the trouble of recording for me. She recorded my books. She read them in her spare time and recorded for me. And I am always grateful. And my college, as an exception, though I was not their student, issued a special ID card and a library card when I was doing my masters, although I was not the student, so that I could come to college and borrow books from SIES library. SIES library was one of the best libraries for political science back then in the entire city of Mumbai. And the advantage of borrowing books and I used to, borrow books in the teacher's name. Why? Because I had the liberty to keep them a little longer, because I used to take notes in braille using those books. I never ever used textbooks. And guides is something that I never liked. All these 21, what is that, master key and servant, whatever, I don't know. I never understood all that. And I insisted on reading reference material, and my teachers used to like that. I used to be a frequent library visitor back then. So it was a very interesting period. Only struggle that I had was because I had to take notes in braille. It took a long time. So I had to really work about 10, 12 hours a day, including my college time and everything. So very little. And again, Ana Jana was different. Like the commuting was different, because I used to go to my reader's place in Prabha Devi or in some odd place. So all those things were again different. But fortunately, although my parents were not very educated, they had that vision that I should be educated, well educated, and hence I could complete my bachelor's and master's. Master's I did from the university campus at Kalina. Even those were very interesting days. Teachers were very helpful. They also helped me in getting books and all, because as we all know, there are no prescribed textbooks for masters. And in my times, not all teachers gave notes. They expected us to read using library. So it was very interesting, lovely time.
Thanks,
And a lot of
Ketan.
learning happened during that time. And my college, when they completed 75 years, they felicitated 75 students. And luckily, to my utter surprise, I was one of them. And we had Hariharanji, Shankar Mahadevanji, Shreya Ghoshal, all these, Varsha Gaikwad, the Congress MP, all these big people being felicitated along with me at the SIES Nerul campus. And the chief guest was no less than Dr. Kalam. So it was such a privilege. This happened on 15th August 2008, if I remember correctly. Yes. So it was really, the whole experience was very, very interesting and enriching. Lovely experience.
Thanks, Ketan. I think there was a question by Hetal. Hetal has raised her hand.
Yes.
Disha, could you take over? And
Yes. I don't see a raised hand. That's why I was
Hello,
wondering.
I'm
Yes.
Hetal Parmar.
Yes,
Yes,
Hetal,
Hetal, please go ahead.
I can hear you.
Raise hand.
Yes, I would like to ask you one question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, I am currently in my first year of data science and business analyst. I heard your whole thing about like your education journey and your expects and how you topped the class. It was really incredible. And my question is like, in education purpose, your teachers helped, your parents had a vision, and you had helps, right? But what about like in real life after your education? How you survive means, whatever difficulties you faced, would you like to share?
Oh yeah, Hetal, it has been a very interesting life. Believe me, I am working in the disability sector for last now how many? 33 years almost. For my first job, actually, initially I worked as Clockar-based lecturer in political science in Bhavans College in Chowpatty, if you know Mumbai city.
Yes, yes, I
And
know.
then I joined the National Association for the Blind on 1st November 1993 and had lots of I was upper middle level management person at the time when I left that job in 2008, and I then joined Site Savers. In between, I also worked for about 6 months at an organization called Barrier Break. And when I was in Site Savers, I also traveled abroad to a few countries, including Trumpland, that is the United States of America.
So Ketan is too humble to mention it, but his travel abroad also included being speaking for disability rights at the United Nations, representing Sight Savers.
So the experiences have been very mixed, you see. People, but I must say, after all the travel that I had abroad, nobody can be replaced by Indians. They are the best people. Honestly, if God were to ask me, choice, where would you want to be born? Uh, Giving all the best countries in the world, so-called best countries, and India as a choice, I would still prefer India, because Indian people, they may be financially poor, but they are, at least my experience tells me, are the most understanding and helpful people that I have ever found. And I have traveled to America, Britain, and all the Dubai. So all the big places that now have, and
Okay,
I traveled
so
alone, by the way. So
like all alone.
yeah, all alone. I traveled. I insisted that I want to travel by Greyhound buses. Have you heard of Greyhound buses in America?
Yes.
Yeah, so I traveled on a Greyhound bus to Boston from New York and back. And while going, my driver was a lady, very strict lady. If she said, if anybody talks on the mobile, if I hear their voice, I'll confiscate their phones.
No, it's
But
really good to hear this from you. Means you didn't just look up for yourselves, but for others too, who were differently able, which is very nice.
well, you know why? Because the disability, even today, people are viewing it in a very
Excuse me, sorry for the interruption, but don't call it as a disability. Call it
no.
as like differently
Hetal,
able, okay?
Hetal. I'll tell you
Yes.
what. I call it disability knowingly. Why? Because if I don't have sight, I don't have sight. Doesn't matter. When you say differently abled, everybody in this world is differently abled. Your abilities are different from mine, and my abilities are different from yours, right? So when I'm using this term, uh, and this is a legally accepted term across the world. So for
Yeah, then
example,
it
there
is
are
okay.
important documents that governments have signed and ratified which use the term disability. So I would definitely go by what the term is, but yes, you are free to use the other terms. Nothing wrong in it. Yeah.
Yes, Aryan has a question, Ketan.
Yeah.
Aryan?
Ketan, am I audible?
Very
Yes.
much.
Ketan, can you tell me about your dating life?
Oh, lovely. My daily. These days, it's become a little boring because of the rains. One is kind of, bound. But yes, otherwise, daily life is very busy. I stay at Dahisar, So I take 3 vehicles in the morning to reach office every day at 10, and I generally don't like being late. And then 3 vehicles back in the evening while returning. And I have varied interests. I love reading, I love chatting, I love listening to radio, and I told you I follow sports very avidly. Politics, of course, I follow very. I mean, the global politics, not only Indian politics but global politics also. So my daily life, and then I read books, mostly biographies, autobiographies, and I'm also watching some old Marathi soap operas these days. At the moment, I am watching Wadal Wat. If anybody ever sees old Marathi soap operas, because आजकल का चीज में तो कोई मुझे I don't find anything interesting, and I'm waiting to watch Diplomat on Netflix when the time permits. So varied interest, yeah, and going out every Sunday at least, going out with friends, wife, and of course other family responsibilities that come, because I'm the
Ketan's
only.
also quite tech savvy. He likes to stay updated on technological advancements. AI is his latest.
Yes, yes.
Ketan, I think you should watch Lockup Show.
Yeah, I shall definitely explore it once I finish. You know, I left The Crown also halfway, and now I have to also finish The Diplomat. So, do you know that these are audio described? They are audio described because so that the blind people can enjoy them.
So, I think they're still understanding what audio described is, Ketan. If you could
So,
tell
audio
them how you
description is
explain it.
when there are silent pauses, or when there are characters doing things without talking to each other. We find ourselves lost since we cannot see. So, there are narrators who describe those movements, those uh, moments, and those scenes to us on a parallel channel, which we can listen to wearing headphones, so that so the main movie dialogues don't get disturbed.
So try it on. Go to Netflix, turn on the audio description settings, and see what it feels like for your next binge watch season or series or whatever session. Yes, Kushal, you have a question.
Yeah. Ketan bhai.
Sorry for the call rings that are going around. There are 2 phones lying on my bed.
We can't hear them, Ketan, don't worry.
Oh, acha. Oh, lovely.
Huh.
How are you, Ketan bhai?
Oh, I'm very fine, thank you.
Nice listening to you. Just I have a simple thing. Curiosity is how has this Hey Siri and OK Google been helping you out? Are they helpful?
Siri is if there is a race between AI assistants, then Siri is the worst and getting worse by the day.
That's nice.
And Google is
What is the best?
Because it has a lot of data, right? It's all simple. So Gemini is any day better than GPT. The only advantage that GPT has is that it was the first mover advantage.
No. I mean, I'm asking about the general, assistance which you get with your phone free of cost. So you have an Android, you just say, okay, Google, and it takes you around. And if you have an Apple,
No, I now directly chat with Gemini.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm on Google Pro.
Google Pro. All right. So that's useful to you.
Very.
It makes life
Oh,
simple.
yes. So that I can get for example, updates on water levels in Mumbai so easily. Otherwise, I have to ask somebody or I have to Google it, which is so boring.
So that's a nice.
All have become lazy, haven't we? Yeah. So
more used to convenience, I guess.
Yes. So, but that's fun. Life goes on. Hannah.
That's right. Great to know, I think, and more intelligent.
But yes, I must tell you, since all of you are students, that I yet don't lend my brain to AI. I do my own writing. Kitna bhi acha bura ho, I would rather do it myself and not depend on either a Gemini or a GPT to work for me, or a Claude for that matter. Now the Claude is the king, I suppose.
I wish you all the best, Ketan bhai.
Thank you. Lovely.
Any more questions for Ketan?
And by the way, no question is barred, okay? And don't worry about political correctness. It doesn't matter. I mean, because sometimes we are hesitant, array, somebody might feel bad. So I am, in that sense.
Ketan, what are your opinions about Narendra Modi?
No, I shall talk to you offline if you ever meet me. I shall not discuss the Indian politics on a public forum. But yes, I have my opinions, which I can't be discussing on a public forum. Yes.
Ibrahim, you have a question? And
Yeah,
then
ma'am.
Divya
Am
will
I
answer.
audible?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to ask Ketan sir, first of all, sir, you are a big inspiration for even for people, even for normal people, you are a big inspiration because you've shown how life can be challenging, but you can make that one of your powers. I just had this question that what are your opinions about the stand-up comics who talk about disability, who joke about disability? There are some who insult about it, and there are some who just joke about it, take it as a laughter. So what are your thoughts about it?
Samir, I know.
No, so long as you do it within acceptable limits, and one has to know what the acceptable limits are, it doesn't matter. Because if I always say, when you want to be included, there are going to be the good and the bad and the ugly. So you can't only have everybody being nice to you. So that's okay. But sometimes stand-up comedians overdo everything now. From what we are hearing about those that doctor girls thing, or
The
those
350
kinds of.
rupee
I mean, it's
biryani.
not really
Yeah.
required in terms. I can make people laugh without going, below the belt. If you know Marathi humor, if you read Pula Deshpande, I don't know whether there are any Maharashtrian people here, but Pula Deshpande used to make all of us laugh without ever being, below the belt. Or
Yeah.
there are so many other people who are so nice, who never make jokes that are so dirty. So you have to learn how to be, in Gujarati there is Shahabuddin Rathod, and I can say this because I'm a Gujarati. So he has been in the field for last 50 what? Yeah, 1969 till today. He is doing his program. So he is 57 years, and I don't think ever has he gone below the belt. It's always family humor.
Yes.
So you have to learn that. You see, nowadays people have become very cheap, and my problem is people tend to enjoy such dirty jokes. The worst is how women enjoy jokes made on women, and then forward them on WhatsApp, which is even worse. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, sir.
Yes, Gurkirat.
Hello, sir. I'm Gurkirat Kaur, BBA LLB student.
Bapre, LLB.
Yes.
Wow.
So, like, when you were small in school, that time, because I had one of my friend who was a little mentally disabled, and everyone used to hate him. No one.
Nowadays we call them intellectually disabled.
Yes, sir. Now, like at that time, nobody used to sit with him, and my class teacher told me to sit with him. So I was the one sitting with him for the first time, and he used to hit me sometimes, but then he was good. When I used to tell him to do this, so he used to do that, but he used to hit me sometimes. I remember that. So, sir, at that time, did you face any problems with your friends and teachers because you were small, you were not adapted at that time to the environment? So, what
No
was the
problem, Gurkirat. I'll tell you what the problem with my life was. that we were sent in a school for the blind, which I feel was not the right thing. But back then there were no facilities for inclusion so much. So I didn't have those problems. No. And when I went to a regular place, I told you about my college experience. That
Yes.
Rekha girl, आप मेरी चप्पल की आवाज सुन के मेरे पीछे आएगी. But that, that was done out of lack of awareness rather than deliberate doing it. There was the exact opposite case of Rekha. There was a girl called Shaija. She said, "I don't talk to any boys except you because I know you are a very safe person." I said, "Please don't be under that misunderstanding. I can be worse. At least वो लोग तो दिखते हैं नजर से, मैं दिखता भी नहीं हूँ. If you talk to me as a friend. Don't talk to me because I am the best person. That could be wrong." So, ठीक है. I mean, those are, there are all sorts of people to make this world, right? So that's okay. One has to take them these matters in good spirit.
Right. Ketan, there's one question in chat which Alicia has shared. She's asked what success means to you now compared to when you started. And Sid, I'll come to your question after that.
Oh God, what success means to me? Doing things the best you can, to the best of your abilities, and then leave it to the consequences that may arise. That's all I could say, because I don't think earning a lot of money, because I have never understood one thing: kitna paisa is enough. Once Mukesh Ambani said something which I really liked. He said, "Now I am only doing my work for the work's sake. I mean, money comes. It doesn't really now add to my pleasure." I don't know whether he said it out of modesty or he said it out of what. But that is true. I mean, beyond the point, ab kya hi karoge? People say, me, Maja, I save for my kids. But, I mean, come on. Kids may have their own life, and anyways, they have to work, right? Your savings are not going to, they can be just a starting point. You save for your old age. Yes, that is correct. But I will never have that greed. Never.
Okay, so we have a few more questions lined up, Ketan, Sid,
Yes.
Sahil, and then Siddharth. Can you guys go in that
Ketan,
order?
sir, I think you should be the next Prime Minister of India.
No, thank you. You don't know my other views. Yes,
Yes, Sid, your question.
Hello. Yes, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I had a question
Don't become
that,
like Modi, huh?
Go on.
yes, sir, I had a question that you said that you read many books and biographies and all. So how would you learn and read those books? So can you share some light on that?
So earlier I used to read books in Braille, but not adequate material is available. So I can read them on my phone because my phone has a screen reader. My computer also has a screen reader, which you can hear now as it comes. So I also read Kindle books on Kindle app. So I can buy them and read like anybody else. So there are multiple ways, and there are of course audiobooks. So I had read the best book that I had read. I mean, I liked, other than political biographies and autobiographies, those are different. But otherwise, Not Without My Daughter. I don't know whether any one of you have
Betty
heard of
Mahmoodi,
I
it's a
think there's a
gorgeous
movie
one.
also.
No, Betty Mahmoodi, it's a gorgeous book.
Yeah, Betty Mahmoodi. Yes.
Yes, it's a gorgeous
Very
book.
well written book. I believe the daughter has also written a book now.
That I have to look up then. Thank you
Yes,
for the
Betty's
suggestion.
daughter has also written a book.
DSBA Ahana Debnath.
So yes, Siddharth, you have a question.
And it's relevant
Hi.
now because the book is based in Iran for the most
Yes.
part.
BAL.
Hi, Ketan. Can you hear me?
Very well, thank you.
Size.
Hi, I'm Siddharth Bhatia. I live in Matunga, actually, the east side.
Okay.
So,
Oh yes,
I just
lovely Ayyappan Idli.
Ayyappan Italy, that's the question I was going to ask you. What places do you like in this area?
No, in Matunga East, there are lots of places. There are Anand Bhavan, Mysore Cafe, Madras Cafe. And Ayappan, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Ayappan when he was on a gadi, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And now he has a restaurant of his own.
Yes,
Taste
that's right.
is the same.
Has joined the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And
You must
money,
have
of
also
course.
gone to places like Guru Kripa near
Oh,
SIS.
yes. The first visit of Guru Kripa, I broke a glass. Yes.
So
Next.
Soumya's question, I don't know if it's Soumya or Soumya, but I'm going to this thing. So what kind of advice do you want to give to a guy who procrastinates a lot, apart from simply telling them not to procrastinate?
Oh, yeah. Who am I to advise? I am known to be a procrastinator. I'm trying to overcome that. And, well, so I always tell people, अगर आपका डेडलाइन कल है तो मुझे आज बोलना कल कर चाहिए था लेकिन अभी आप भी दे दो. So procrastination, only problem is that if you procrastinate too much, and this is out of experience, you end up doing work at the last minute and work may not be of that quality. So if you really want to do good work, please do it in time. Or before that if you can. And that I am learning from my boss and friend, Dr. Sam. He's an extremely good planner. And so some lessons that we learn every day from his his actions. Yes. Next question.
Yes. Sahil, then Shamika and Ayush, I have seen your question in chat. I will come to it after that. And sir, Shinde sir, I'll come to you after that.
Sure.
Thank you. Yes, Sahil. Sahil's on mute still.
Let Shamika come in then.
All right, Shamika, please go for it.
Hi, Ketan sir. My question to you is like nowadays everybody comes with a thought like what more than ourselves we feel like what others will think about us. So, so during your college life or like some other days, have you ever come across such thought and like how did you
No.
cope up?
The short answer is no. I don't see. I only think that I shouldn't be deliberately hurting anybody. Other than that, लोग क्या कहेंगे? As they say, लोगों का काम है कहना. So I don't. उनको भी तो time pass चाहिए ना. I really don't give that much importance. So that's okay.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Right. Ayush has asked Ketan that what about a person with disability and a poor financial condition? What are the things the government does for them and how he can do something?
So the government has a few schemes laid down for them. Government does pay pensions, disability pensions, etc. But those are actually very paltry. I mean, it's such a sum is given that it's um, not really much to talk about. So everybody can help. There are good organizations working for disabled. You can always go and donate to them after थोड़ा बहुत देख के whether they are doing really good work. And you can also, if possible, if you have any disabled person around you, be his or her friend. You see, the problem now is that gradually this isolation in disabled community is going to be a very big problem, including the blind community. Although blind are the most mobile people, but even then, I would say. And I also would want to say that disabled people also need to avoid ghettoism, if you know what ghettoism means. Although I know everybody wants to, mix with their people who are like them, but still.
Fair enough. Shinde sir, you and Hetal after that you.
Ketan, I just want to divert your attention a little bit to other disabilities. How do we deal with autistic students in the class?
Yeah.
So if you can cover those things.
Please. Yeah, sure.
Ketan, I have the disability etiquette slide if you want me to share that now.
You do that, but I would like to first say one very important thing to all of you. that, see, in our case, those of us who are blind, those of us who are orthopedically disabled, you can see our disability. There are many of our friends whose disability is not very visible. There are people who are autistic friends, who have autism, who are on autism spectrum. Now they are, they need things extremely precisely. They're not easily able to adapt themselves to sudden changes. They don't like a lot of noise, lot of immediate pressure. And sometimes they need repeated breaks. They can't concentrate beyond a point. But believe me, people who are on autism spectrum, some of them are gifted people. Their level of intelligence is much above average intelligence, but they want a defined schedule, and they don't like deviation from that schedule. And sometimes they tend to imitate you, they tend to make fun of you without really meaning to hurt you. Okay, so if you have any of your classmates, please try to be empathetic towards him or her. Sir would recall, we have a student, now he is doing his masters in science. Now he used to just make fun of his classmates. They used to make fun of him, and when he made fun of them, they never liked it. So he used to steal their bags. Very small little fun activities, but sometimes they were little, how do I say, a little over the board, because he did not realize that this is not done. But he had no mal intentions. So there are our friends who have that difficulty. Try to cope up with them more patiently. What we need is patience. There are our friends who are dyslexics, who can't understand easily when they read. So they tend to listen to the material. They tend to write exams in bullet points. We have to, the diversity is the fun. So disability is a part of human diversity now. So we have to live with these differences. And in fact, they make our society more interesting and livable thing. There are people who find it difficult to write or draw. This situation is called dysgraphia. I don't know whether you all have heard of it. So they need scribe. Some of them can also write their exams on computers. Now the government gives facility of writing exams on computer. I think in Mumbai, Xavier's was one very leading organization which allowed such facilities. In that sense, Xavier's is one college which has offered accommodations of all sorts to students with disabilities, and with a single purpose that they should do the best they can and be part of a life where everybody can thrive to the best of their capacity. There are some other friends of ours who find it difficult in calculation. That situation is called dyscalculia. So if you have friends either who are on autistic spectrum or who are on any of these dyslexics, dyscalculia, dysgraphia, we have to accommodate them, and we have to, as I said, the best you can do for a student with disability or a person with disability is be their friends. Try to understand their difficulty. Don't make fun of them. See, you have to realize that you all have been extremely lucky, that all of your uh, senses and all your abilities are intact. But remember, actually, in one way or the other, all of us are disabled. There are some or the other problems that all of us face. So don't make fun of anybody, because the moment you make fun of somebody, you never know what happens to you tomorrow. We had a student doing XIC, Xavier's Institute of Communication ka diploma in journalism. She had undergone an accident. You know, she was in coma for 6 months. She was a leading badminton player in her age, you know, when she had this accident. But because of her accident, she had lost many of her capabilities and she was trying to regain them, including her sight. Now her sight is much better than what it was when I met her. Her speech was also very blurry. Now it's much more clearer. People were not helping her at all. They were not making her part of their group. You know, you have these group exercises in the class. Friends, it is not good. Always remember, today what we are is a temporary condition. You never know what tomorrow brings. She had a sudden accident while sleeping. Gas cylinder burst in her house. Both her parents died. They burned to death. Can you believe? And she had this, she survived, but survived with a lot of difficulties. And today, she has completed the diploma in journalism. So, you know, we have to credit such people. Don't go overboard and, you know, but help them wherever they seek help. Ask them whether they need any help. Don't assume. Usko ye madad chahiye, usko ye help chahiye. Don't assume. Ask them, do you need help? How can I be of help to you? And please, these invisible disabilities, we have to be little more careful because they tend to be ignored by people. They tend to be neglected by the people because they are not seen. See, in the case of people like us, we are seen by everybody. Everybody can see I am blind, right? So people would, you know, go out of their way. Some people may misuse also that facility, some blind people. So you have to be helping those who are in society. Always remember, not only in disabled, everywhere you remember, those who are at the bottom need the help the most. And we need to be empathetic, not sympathetic. What is empathy? Empathy is it, what if I were in their position? How would I want to be treated? Try and treat them the way you would have liked to be treated if you were having that situation. I hope I'm making this very, very amply clear. And please don't ever try to hurt a person with disability deliberately. I'm not saying don't make fun of him. If he's your friend and if he makes fun of you, please go ahead and do it. But don't make fun of his disability. I make fun of people and I love when they make fun of me and give galis, but that is with close friends. Don't make fun of anybody's disability. You never know. You know, as I always say, disability is no longer their problem. You know, there is this us and them. It's now a our difficulty because anybody can have these difficulties.
Anas.
Right.
Anas?
So,
why is this playing?
I think there's some technical snag.
yes.
Okay.
So Ketan has covered most of it. Ketan, we're already at 11:42. I just want to take 3 minutes to show them the disability etiquette
Yeah,
slide
please,
and then
please.
this thing, right? So there's a star mark next to the disability etiquette 101 that we have. What's that star for? What is that asterisk for?
Clickable. Start my video button.
Please remember all people with disabilities that Ketan has kept on saying again and again, but we'll take that point here also, is people with disabilities are a heterogeneous group. These are general guidelines. These are not one size fits all. But if you are in doubt when talking to a person with a disability or interacting with a person with disability, always ask for personal preferences. Give them the respect you would want for yourself, that if someone is making a decision about you, you would want to be a part of the conversation, right? To explain your side of the story, to help them understand your side of how it looks like, right? So here's a short overview. I'm sorry, I changed the slide, but yes, it's now coming up. Can everyone see the next slide? So some of the tools are use person first language. So anyone who was concerned about whether we should say disabled or not, the person first language works. So person with blindness, person with autism, that is the commonly accepted parlance these days. Speak directly to the person with the disability. If they have someone with them, don't address your questions to them. Speak to them directly. There have been many incidents when Ketan and I have gone out together and people have asked me a question, would he like something? We were traveling together once and the air hostess came and asked, would he like to eat something? And I said, ask him. You know, speak directly to the person with a disability. If you're not sure how to approach them, just call them out by their name and ask them, Ketan, would you like something? You know, so that they know that you are referring to them. Asking, probably just, you know, keep your behavior in the same manner as you would when interacting with the person without a disability. Like example, if you want to offer to shake hands, of course you are offering hand to Ketan, you will say, Ketan, I'm offering my hand to you to shake. You know, simple things. A visual or a verbal cue with the visual signal. Presume competence. This is very important. Presume competence as you would for a person without a disability. And when offering assistance, Ketan has brought this up already, ask first if they need help and how you can best help them. Everyone has their own, you know, systems in place. So don't presume that this is the way. For example, a simple thing is whenever I am with somebody with a visual impairment, I ask what their preference is, left hand or right hand. Because some people are left-handed, some people are right-handed. So when offering my elbow, I ask which hand would you prefer? Because the other hand they want to keep free for some or the other reasons, the one which is their dominant hand. Something as simple as that, you know. Please don't use outdated term like the handicapped, specially able, differently able. Ketan has already brought this up in quite some detail. Don't make assumptions. For example, Ketan, this one is right up your alley. A person with visual impairment recognizes you by your voice.
Ketan sir, I have a doubt.
Yes.
You are unmuted.
Yes. Bolo, bolo. What doubt? Disha, am I audible?
You are audible, Ketan, and that person has changed his name to Ketan Boss. So I have no clue what his name is, who was asking that question.
Okay, you continue, Disha.
Okay, I will continue then till they're ready to ask their question. Don't ask intrusive questions about a person's disability unless they're brought up by the person themselves. If you still feel you need to ask something, you can check with them first that, hey, I have a question particularly about this thing. Is it okay if I ask you? You know, don't touch a person's adaptive equipment. Please be very careful about this. It is actually a part of their personal space. Just as you wouldn't like somebody, you know, like it could be the wheelchair, it could be the cane, it could be anything. Check with them, or unless they've specifically asked you, or their guide dogs for that matter. They are not pets. They are service animals for a reason. Don't lower expectations or avoid discussions about performance with students or employees just because you're worried you may say something wrong. This is actually what will create barriers to their success. Figure out a way to do it respectfully, maybe. You know,
This applies to even the invisible disabilities.
Absolutely, absolutely. So
In fact, more so to them. In our case, so we will be more than vocal. Don't worry.
When you have a group project and there's a direct discussion happening about who does what, please don't presume, involve the person in your group project discussion and ask them what their preferences are and where they could possibly need support. It's not like don't do it, but if you can do it with some support or what can be done to make it easier for you.
Master induction series.
You know, simple things like that.
Clickable. Mute.
Right. Any questions on these?
You are unmuted.
Any questions? Any thoughts? Yeah, we had a question. Chat, one sec. I'm just checking. Yes, Ahana, I have come to your question. Are depression and anxiety also a certain type of disability? If yes, how do we deal with those?
Oh, yes. So mental illness is also considered a disability, and when you are so you have to be basically sensitive to their needs. So yes, it is a disability, a mental illness, not depression as such. Mental illness. So there are other conditions also like schizophrenia, and there are so many other mental illness conditions. They are also considered a disability by the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act
And the new Mental Health
2016.
Act also is coming in, no, Ketan?
Huh?
The new Mental Health Act also is coming in, no?
No, Mental Health Act ho na ho, the main Parent Act does refer to mental
Yes.
illness as a disability.
Hmm.
So those Mental Health Act, disabled community has other things to say, but that will not get into all those things. Yeah. So yes, mental illness is also part of disability.
Fair enough.
I think we can
Yes.
wind up, Disha.
Yes, yes. I just need one more minute. There is a
Sure,
quick
go ahead.
feedback
Yeah, why?
form that if all of you could fill out
Disha,
about
I
your
am leaving now.
Yes, yes. It's a QR code. It's a short feedback form. Can everyone see it? Yes.
Excuse me, Mr. Ketan.
Ketan has left the meeting, though I can
Okay.
take your question back to him if I can't answer it.
That's fine. Thank you.
Siddharth, I'll try to answer it, but if I can't, then I'll take it back to Ketan and have him reach out to you.
Oh, he had mentioned that he went to a blind school and he wished that he went to a regular school.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask him if he had any pointers for anyone who may have a child who has blindness, because that could happen to anyone, yes?
Yes. So, ideally, from as an opinion, we do recommend that integrated schools, you send children to integrated schools, even children with disabilities, because at the end of the day, they have to live in the larger society, so we do avoid exclusion as much as possible. So that is, Ketan, you're here. Ketan?
I think
Okay, all
his
right.
account is here, but he's not here in the meeting.
I think yes. I think he's not logged out completely. So yes, the preference is to get into inclusive schools as early as possible. And then what we do is also we have support systems for children studying in mainstream schools. So if a blind student is going to a mainstream school, there are still skills he will need to learn, which are not a part of the curriculum there, like Braille or other things. So we run programs for them on our end, computer training with screen readers, Braille learning, all of that from very early on. We have even STEM learning, it looks differently for them because you have substitutions of the way, like if whatever visual information cannot be given through visually, it is done through tactile or auditory mechanisms. So we have all of these learning mechanisms for them. We do that.
If someone in a STEM class a teacher is teaching with a PowerPoint presentation, how would someone with blindness
Disha.
follow through with that?
Yes.
Disha, I think you can take this
I'll take
question
this offline.
offline, yeah.
Okay.
I'll take this offline. Siddharth, if you could leave your contact details on the feedback form, I will reach out to you. In the comments, if you want to leave your number also, if you can leave that with you.
He can
Yes,
reach to
thank you.
XRCVC also.
Yes, yes.
You can, yeah, I
Yes.
think Mr.
So we
Bridges
can wrap
Singh.
up now.
Yes, thank you. Disha, please go ahead and wrap it up.
Yes. So, I want to leave all of you with a question with two options of answers, and I don't need to know the answer. I just need you to know it for yourself. So in the evening, when you go back home or other are done with the day and you have dinner with your family or your friends or your loved ones and you're discussing your day with them today, what is it that you will tell them about meeting Ketan? Will you say option A, you met with Ketan, a person with blindness, who has MA in political science, gold medalist in his times, 30 plus years of, having worked in the disability sector, has been internationally recognized for his work? Or would you tell them that you met with Ketan today, 30 plus years experience in the disability space, MA political science, gold medalist in his time, has been recognized internationally for his work, and oh, he happens to live with a blindness? Would you put the person first or the disability first? That is the only thought I want to leave you with. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you,
Thank you
Disha.
so much. Thank you so much, Disha ma'am. Thank you so much, Ketan sir, for such insightful session of yours, wherein we could literally engage ourselves to, understanding what are the different discrepancies we've come across. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Karishma. Thank you for having us. I'll log out from here now, and you can, remove me as a co-host now.
Yes, Disha. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, bye-bye.
A very good afternoon to one and all present here. On behalf of HSNC University, Mumbai, I, Ms. Karishma Malhotra, Assistant Professor of Niranjan Hiranandani School of Management and Real Estate, take this great honor and privilege to welcome our respected VC, Colonel Professor Dr. Hemlata Bagla ma'am, Registrar, Deans, Directors, faculty members, and our dear students for today's special session of Master Induction Series. In today's digital age, where our lives, data, and institutions are increasingly connected online, understanding cybersecurity has become more than just a technical requirement. It is a necessity for every citizen, organization, and nation. We are truly fortunate enough to have with us a leader who brings both authority and deep insight into this critical domain. I take immense pride in introducing our distinguished speaker for today, Mr. Brijesh Singh Sir, IPS, Principal Secretary to Government of Maharashtra, an officer of Indian Police Service. Mr. Singh has been at forefront of governance, technology, and public policy. He has played a pivotal role in shaping Maharashtra's approach to cybersecurity and safety, digital governance, and law enforcement in the digital era. Known for his visionary leadership and practical understanding of cyber threats, he has been instrumental in driving initiatives that make our digital ecosystem safer and more resilient. Today, we look forward to an insightful and thought provoking session with him on cybersecurity, a topic that touches each one of us, from protecting personal data to securing national infrastructure. Sir, your presence and guidance will undoubtedly inspire our students, faculties to think critically about digital responsibility, cyber hygiene, and the role each of us play in building a secure digital future. I once again extend a heartfelt welcome to Mr. Brijesh Singh, IPS. We are eager to learn from your experience and expertise, and a special thanks from our Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Hemlata Bagla Madam, to you for accepting our invitation and agreeing to address our students. Welcome you, sir.
So before we commence, just a word of thanks, heartfelt thank you from our Vice Chancellor, Colonel Professor Hemlata Bagla. She told me to specially mention this to you. So welcome, sir. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation, and we're looking forward to you. Thank you.
Right. Well, you can add one more disclosure that your university has appointed me as a professor of practice. So I'm virtually your faculty now.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you,
We're
sir.
glad to have you on board, sir.
Right. Okay. I want this interactive. I want this to be something where You can stop me anyway. You can ask any question.
Stop it
You
right here.
can.
Stop it right here.
Um, others, if they are not asking question, may mute themselves. Right. So you're free to ask questions, and we can make it interactive. Now, I am slightly envious of you all because you are really getting an orientation, and your college has taken so much effort. Your university has taken so much effort to bring people, talk to them, find out what is essential for you, to equip you with the right life skills. Now, when we went to college, the only orientation we had was seniors asking us to put a red third button on a white shirt and do frog jumps. So, yeah,
Reason
you
भाई
are
बस हो
really
गया भाई
lucky.
बस.
Uh, there's somebody who's speaking again and again.
Students, kindly mute yourself. Requesting students to kindly mute.
भेज देना आईडी.
I think, madam, there is somebody who is actually creating a problem. Can you just look into that ID and
The host, please mute them, please.
yeah,
remove
maybe
them.
if there's a moderator.
Tell them we can find out the IP and we can get back. Like it's not so simple. So it would be actually a good lesson taught. You know, if they really want to take it up, we can do some forensics on that and get back to them. By evening, we'll be at your doorstep. Don't worry. It's good fun to try and interrupt this, but there are consequences. And this is exactly what the topic is about. That there are real life consequences to something which feels anonymous and you feel protected by, a digital wall. But let me tell you, the internet is a tattoo. Nothing ever gets removed. You think that you're sending a message from your phone to somebody's phone, or you are using a VPN or proxy. But see, even when you are sitting in the class and let's say sharing a meme to the person next to you, this is not just going from your phone to that other person's phone. If you're not using airdrop, it's actually traversing through servers across the world, going through undersea cables, residing and in various servers, and keeping a copy at hundreds of places. And these copies are retained by various jurisdictions, and they are provided to basically legitimate law enforcement and other legal interests. Now, what I wanted to tell you was that you need to understand that cybersecurity is a real life skill. It is not just something. It's not just a must have, because it's like this, that even when we are giving a learning license, we teach you how to drive a car. But today we are just putting you in midst of this information superhighway without any knowledge, without any map. And I think it's some kind of an abandonment of responsibility on part of society and institutions. And hence it's very essential to know what
Biju
exactly is
sir,
happening here.
diaper can में सुसु scroll करो ना.
Was that?
We can ask the admin team tech team to actually mute everyone. Change the setting to that. Host can also do that.
Right. So there's an infographic which I had shared. Is it possible to put it up? Yes. Now, the problem is that your generation has been brought up as digital natives. Like you are very different from us. We come from times when we literally had rotary phones, and that too one in the colony, where you used to tell people that, okay, I'll call at 7:30, and then people would be there to receive the call. Today, it's a time of ever presence. Like everything is always present, always available, and there's this video of a small girl who is actually given a physical photograph. It's a 2-3 year old kid, and she's trying to expand it, right? Because she's a digital native. This is the way she interacts with the world. That for your generation, you saw technology first. We saw technology as a tool. You see technology as a life. Like everything that you do, right from morning to evening to night, is somewhere linked to technology. It is modulated by technology. And now it doesn't just mean that since you're using this technology, it doesn't mean that you know this technology. So being tech savvy doesn't mean that you're secure. Now, let me tell you some interesting statistics that cybercrime today is the third largest GDP in the world. It is more than twice of India's GDP. It's around $10 trillion. $10 trillion. We are struggling to be a $5 trillion economy, but this cybercrime economy is already crossing $10 trillion. And it affects everybody. It affects small children. It affects old people. It affects young people. It affects professionals. The irony is also that sometimes more intelligent people are more prone to cyber attacks. Let's say look at corporate cyber attacks. In terms of corporate cyber attacks, you find that messages are specifically crafted. So now once you clear your college, you'll go to your work. And when you go for work, you would find that there are cyber attacks which are specifically designed for you. For example, you are a student. So now the cyber attacker, they just don't hijack the technology. They try to hijack your mind by, let's say, giving you, so they know that you've just entered college. There may be people who may be looking for scholarships, right? So then there would be a scholarship scam. There would be specific apps regarding scholarship. There would be mails regarding scholarship. There would be messages. There would be QR codes. And this is all basically to get to money, to somewhere to ask you to pay.
सर रुक जाओ, डेटॉल की एड में कीटाणु बन जाओ.
You're talking on mute.
You're muted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're back to mute.
Sir, you're muted.
Actually, somebody is muting it. Somebody is mute. Somebody is playing the fool. It's very easy to do, and they are having fun. It's not very difficult. But do one thing: register an FIR on this, and we'll find this chap out. Don't worry. The college should register an FIR, and let's see if we find them out. And we'll let that person know that it's not very easy and there are real life consequences to this. Because it's essential knowledge which needs to be passed on to people. And while you're having fun doing this, you're just a kid. And you need to understand that there are others and you're disturbing them. Now, and that's why responsibility in, you have a car and you are driving it anywhere in the traffic and you are basically causing accidents. So what is happening is that your personal data becomes a risk profile. That, let's say you are a student. Now, if you're a student, you would have some modicum of money. You would have some money, your parents would have given you some money. And then the fraudsters are after this. And they would craft messages specifically for you. So they would, see to it that you click a link, you install an app, right? Or that you get involved in a scheme wherein they gain your trust. And generally, it is done with either fear of authority, urgency, or they offer you something which is really good. And it's too good to refuse. But playing the long game, they involve you in paying money in small amounts. Then it starts getting, to larger amounts, and you end up losing a lot. So the best inoculation against this is trying to understand what is the modus of these cyber criminals, what are they up to. In fact, let me tell you a very sinister story, which may protect you from harm later on. That in Cambodia, Laos, and Myanmar, there are these places called cybercrime special economic zones. Yes, they're called cybercrime parks. And these cybercrime parks are basically places where humans are trafficked. There are 30,000 Indians who have been trafficked like this and who are living the lives of slaves in such cybercrime compounds. So what generally happens here is in these cyber slavery compounds is that you get a good job offer, especially in tech. So I was telling you that even intelligent people are not immune to this. IT professionals, tech professionals, they are not immune to this. So tech professionals may be lured by job offers, and then they would be called abroad, let's say to Singapore or to Thailand. And from there, then they are, literally abducted or kidnapped, and their passport is kept. Then they are taken physically to these cybercrime compounds. And you may learn about these compounds where these people are kept in the conditions of literal slavery. So you can Google about something called KK Park in Myanmar, which is basically in a kind of badly administered area where, see, Myanmar is today undergoing a military dictator rule, which is called a military junta. And this military people, they do not control all areas. So there are these areas which are controlled by criminal gangs and Chinese criminal gangs. These people have these cities, like they are walled cities. So like Hiranandani has an entire city somewhere in Powai. So like that, these SEZ people, crime SEZ people have, special economic zone people have full compounds, and they have theaters, they have malls, they have everything. Only thing is you can't get out. And what they ask you to do is they ask you to do these things like digital arrest. Like you would have heard in recent days, you would have heard about digital arrest scams, where somebody poses to be a law enforcement officer, right? Somebody would call you and say that, hey, I'm calling from, let's say, Powai police station or Marine Drive police station. And they are, in full uniform with a proper police station environment. Now, in this, there are these studios. There are very well curated studios. And what they do is that they have taken people from all over. They have taken people from Kerala, they've taken people from Punjab, they've taken people from Bengal, so they can speak the local lingo. They are given training in basically how a law enforcement officer speaks. Because see, a lawyer would speak differently, a professor would speak differently, a thanedar would speak differently. So they know how people speak their lingo. They have taken the terminology, they give them scripts. And with these scripts, they ask people not to move from their screens. And many of you would have seen that this would have happened to people whom you know, or you would have read about cases. There have been very unfortunate cases where people have lost crores. There has been a case where somebody was like digitally arrested in their homes for 28 days. And these are not stupid people. They are people like you and me. They are people who consider themselves as aware and intelligent and tech savvy. Now, what is happening in the cybercrime, parks is that it's kind of a double extortion or a double victimization. Is that this person who wanted a job is a good person, well-meaning person. This person is taken to a foreign country, and then they are made to commit crimes, right? So then they become criminals also. Many efforts have been taken. Many people have been rescued from Cambodia. The government of India is taking efforts. Now, a general question would come to you that why can't they be rescued? But see, your law does not apply to some other country. Some other country, it's happening because somewhere there is either complicity or inattention or some other reasons, or probably corruption, where the local government knows that these cybercrime parks are running. So be very careful of jobs, especially in the IT sector, which are abroad, especially in Southeast Asia. Learn about cybercrime parks, learn about digital arrest, learn on your own. that how these people are basically luring young people and making them commit crime. So it's so sad that you have been abducted, you have been kidnapped, and you are made to commit crimes. And there too, there's a hierarchy. There are people then who become too good at it, right? Then they start supervising because you have daily quotas. You have daily quotas in terms of money. Let's say that you have to earn $2,000 for the cybercrime syndicate. Now, uh, for example, this KK Park in Myanmar has literally turnover of almost $40 billion. It has now been destroyed in a joint operation by China and other countries, but they found that they had almost 350 Starlink terminals also. They had their independent satellite internet. So this operates like a organized international cybercrime. And we need to understand how this operates. We need to understand also the effects like digital arrest, wherein people are scared. People are told that, let's say this package had come and your name has been found associated with it. This is regarding terrorism. I'm speaking from anti-terrorism. I'm speaking from NIA. Or they say that they are probably speaking from a court. In one case, there is a CEO of a very large company. You can Google about him. They created an entire fake Supreme Court, right? And they did an online hearing because nowadays you see with technology there is online hearing possible. So they created an entire fake Supreme Court hearing where they fined that person and took crores of rupees away from them. So, if you are interested in crime stories, you may even read about this, that how cyber criminals created an entire fake Supreme Court hearing and extorted money from a Maharashtra, Mumbai-based very senior corporate figure. And you would see that how this is also getting enabled by Gen AI. So you would have seen that after November 2022, this Chat GPT, Gen AI is increasing its capabilities by leaps and bounds. Earlier, it used to be those Coca-Cola emails and the handsome Nigerian prince wanting to, give you millions of dollars with spelling mistakes in the email. But today, you can write hundreds and thousands of emails with absolutely good English or any other language, right? And nobody would be able to check this because the large language model, the Chat GPT, has created a mail which is very, very high quality. So Gen AI is also enabling this. Plus, there are real-time plugins available. Like today, I can put a plugin on Zoom and then I can pretend to be anybody in real time. So you would have seen that the way filters work on Instagram, that you can put, ears on people, mustaches and masks. Similarly, you can put an entire face on people and you can become any celebrity or anybody. Now imagine this, that you get a WhatsApp call or your parents get a WhatsApp call from you or from your friend saying that I am in this grave difficulty and please send me money, right? And you would believe it because seeing is believing. You are seeing somebody really either in a hospital or in a grave situation. And voice cloning is very easy. There's a company called 11 Labs which takes literally 5 to 10 seconds of your voice and can clone your voice. So voice cloning is easy. Cloning an image is easy. Real-time video cloning is possible. So these are things which kind of hijack your mind, make it feel very, very real. And the only way of protecting yourselves is kind of an inoculation to understand that this may not be true. So let's say your dearest friend is saying that, hey, I'm stuck in this, it's rained too much and I'm stuck in this flood under this bridge. And he gives you a video call saying that, please send me money because whatever, I need money for this, that, right? You can actually cross-check. There are ways to physically cross-check. So do always cross-check through a secondary channel. It can be somebody who's proximate to that person, somebody who may be in the know-how of that person, maybe that person's phone directly, because that person may not be aware. See, also this WhatsApp hijack thing happens, that you get a message which says that, hey, I accidentally sent you my OTP and it's lost and I cannot access my account. Can you just share the OTP back to me? Now, actually, what the person has done is that they are trying to log in into your WhatsApp account. And if you have done any kind of two-factor authentication, then that is the OTP for your account hijack. And once you give them the OTP, they hijack your account. Once they hijack your account, they are sending the same message to all of your contacts. So now imagine this, that you get a message from your father or your brother or your dearest friend saying that, hey, I've accidentally sent you a code. Can you send it back to me? Now, this comes through a trust network, right? You're not going to question that WhatsApp because there's nothing changed. You have been chatting with that person 10 minutes back. And once you give that OTP, that account is gone. It starts a chain reaction, like a multi-level marketing, and it can spread like wildfires. And these thousands and thousands of accounts are literally, hijacked in minutes. Once they are hijacked, they are not after your accounts; they're after your money. Because on WhatsApp today, there is WhatsApp money, right? Plus WhatsApp, other than WhatsApp money, there you are sharing personal documents, you are sharing pictures which you probably should not be sharing. You are sharing your passports, you are sending your bank details, so on and so forth. Literally, your digital life has become your second life. So any hijacking of your personal accounts can lead to a total compromise of everything. It can lead to, let's say somebody commits a crime from that, right? Somebody sends a threatening message to somebody from that compromised account. It would take a long time to prove that this person was using a hijacked account, and it may later on be proved in investigation, but you would be subject to an FIR. Quick questions, you can put them on text, and the faculty may ask those questions and I'd be happy to answer. Any quick questions still here? You can put it in the chat. You can put the questions in the chat. Or if you want to ask, you can ask also. And see, lots of you use apps, and you should understand the difference between a pull request and a push request, right? A receive request versus a pay request. Because the hijackers are creating confusion. That it happened with me once. I was in a meeting and somebody called up my wife saying that, sir is in a meeting and he's not picking up my phone. So she said, okay, tell me what's happening. So the person says that, I had to send him some money on his GPay. I don't have a GPay because I use limited apps. I don't use GPay. So, and he created such an emergency saying that, I need to send him some money for this particular thing. Now, after that, that person sends her some 5,000 rupees. Then he says that, I have accidentally sent you more money. Can you repay it to me? And my wife is trying to call me. I am in an urgent meeting. Then she sends me a long text. I said, look, you are being subjected to a cybercrime. And imagine this, we have been handling cyber. If you get affected by this, then it would be very, very difficult. So then she realized that it was a very elaborate hack. The person understood that I would take a call. He calls up my wife, says that he's accidentally paid me money, put some money in her account, and then asks for, more money to be returned. So they do this very elaborately. They understand your psyche, they understand your condition, they map you out. In fact, your data is sold. So these things called panels are available. So when a cyber criminal is trying to contact you or trying to basically loot you. It's not that they are going to look at a pensioner the way they would look at, let's say, a freshman, because uh, both have very different profiles, right? So let's say pensioners, your grandparents. So people who have just retired, they generally have money. They have money from their pension, gratuity, various kinds of money which the organization pays into their account, the life savings. So they know who has retired, probably looking at their social media profiles, looking at retirement functions, so on and so forth. Then they craft specific messages for that. So let's say a message is to be crafted for scholarship. This will not go to an old person. It's highly, highly targeted and specific. Now, why is it so specific? Can somebody answer me? Why is it so specific? Why is this called a social engineering attack? Why is this social engineering attack so specific? And how do they, know that to what? Yeah. Somebody's asking me question, saying that I have a question. What are a few things that we can notice if somebody's trying a cyber fraud? Um, you know, so what you should notice is that they are using either authority, emergency, lure, right? Or urgency. So they create a condition where your basic common sense it goes for a 6. That if somebody is urgently, a friend is urgently asking for money, helping a friend is not wrong, or paying money for something is not wrong. But the moment you realize that either they are using authority and urgency plus money. See, urgency is okay. You can help a friend. You can if they are injured, you can take them to a hospital. But as soon as somebody asks money, is the first red flag. That you should understand that there is something. If they're asking for money with authority, with urgency, with fear, or with a lure, like that, this trade is available right now. If you don't, participate in this, this would be gone. So some kind of a FOMO effect also. Understand that a heightened emotional state is created to exploit you. And that is the first red flag. And a heightened emotional state created by somebody else whom you don't know properly, or even if you know, you should double check. And if there is money involved, I think that's the first thing that you should understand. If somebody is threatening you, saying that, oh, your name has been found on a drug package, right, with FedEx. And see, they're very elaborate that if you check that number on Truecaller, those people have already put it on Truecaller, right? They've made those entries. They have mechanisms to again and again register that number as, let's say, cybercrime police station or ACP cyber. And once you check that number, you probably find it authenticated. Not only that, they take the effort to go and manipulate Google map listings. So once you click that, you find numbers for a business, but see, it's publicly sourced, and that they have manipulated already. So there's an entire web which has been very elaborately woven, and that is why what you can notice is that any sense of emergency plus money, any sense of emergency, any sense of fear, any threat, any lure, any heightened emotional response plus money. That is the first red flag. You should step back. You should after that, try and see that is there a method where I can check this physically. See, no agency would ask you, there's nothing called digital arrest. No agency is going to say that don't move out from this room, don't go anywhere, sit in front of this, because there is nothing called digital arrest in Indian law, right? And once you realize this, then you would know that there is nothing called digital arrest. Or if somebody is even pretending to be an officer, you may say that, okay, give me the physical location of your office, I'm coming down there, right? So there is a way of physically verifying it, and then you would find that these digital ghosts just evaporate. Now, Shubh Jain is asking me, what are the common apps that we use which enable hackers or criminals to get our data? Social media, man, social media. You're putting down everything there. So whatever be your, let's say, password questions, right? It may be the name of your pet, or the place where your parents first met, or your childhood school. All kinds of information you are putting on social media. And this information is out there for sale. There are even some people who are a bit cyber savvy. There are scripts which which can run and find out all social media presence of yours and create a profile. Like, you give me one data point of yours, let's say a mobile number. From mobile number, let's say I put it in Truecaller. From Truecaller, I'll get your email and your name. From your email, I'll go and find out what all social media profiles you have. From social media profiles, let's say, get your picture. I'll run a reverse image search on your picture and find out many other things. From the pictures, I would get secondary intelligence. From social media, I would get what kind of vehicle you use, what are the places you frequent, who are your connections, within 2 minutes, I would have your entire Janam Kundali, right? So similarly, the attacker or the hijacker or the hacker does it initially. So in cybercrime, there are these specialists. Later on, I would tell you about something called a cyber kill chain, where this huge organized cybercrime industry has been broken into these modular pieces, that each of this piece operates separately. So while these social media platforms, they take your data and they monetize it. So there are data brokers across the world. See, nobody gives you a free service. So WhatsApp is not a charity organization, neither is Instagram. They are running servers worth billions of dollars. See, it takes a large amount of compute, and those of you who are environmentally conscious would be knowing the cost of data centers, the environmental cost of data centers, the electricity cost of data centers, right? And imagine this, that just to run a social network, is somebody mad to keep running these social networks, media networks, which cost them literally billions of dollars? No, they are monetizing. They are monetizing everything that you do. They are monetizing your attention. They are selling your data to people. So today, when you feel that when you are purchasing something which you didn't even know you wanted, it's actually been, your attention has been monetized by the social media platform. But this is, let's say, on a side which is called surveillance capitalism. But on the other side, this data is also available to attackers, to hijackers, to social engineers. What they do is that they patiently scrape profiles, and you can literally scrape profiles. Also, that most of you are vulnerable to account hijack, and I'll tell you how account hijack is done. That generally the most popular password across the world is PASSWORD, right? Still, the most popular. You can check this. And the second one is in popularity 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. People still do it. So many platforms today ask you to, put a special character and a capital and things like that, and various things, and to use nonsensical characters and stuff like that. But most people don't do it. Also, we recycle our passwords. That right now, you can check that you would be using the same passwords on various platforms. While we are talking, I can tell you that there are various places where your username and password is available. So there is a site which is called Have I Been PWNED. I will just put it on the chat. So this is a site. I think it's Have I Been PWNED.com. Let me see if it is .com. You can put your email and find out how many places your account is compromised. Can you check it right now? And I can guarantee you that the median number would be 4. Everybody, it's a safe site. You just put your email. It just tells you, just put your oldest email ID and let me know who's the champion, like, who's compromised at 10, 15 places. In this, you would come to know, please put it on chat and tell me how many places you have been compromised. Each one of you must be compromised at 4 or 5 places where your username and password is available. Now imagine this, that if you have username and password, somebody can impersonate to be you. Not only they can do that, they can find out all the other places you have, accounts, right? Including your bank account. So you may be sharing the same username passwords, recycling passwords, and they may be the same passwords you must be using at different places. And if you do that, somebody can simply become you. They can hijack your identity. They can take your entire life. So, has anybody checked? Can I know how many places you have been compromised? Put it on the chat. Have I been pwned.com? You can put it on chat. I can see raised hands. You can ask questions, but try this and let me know. It's an interesting thing. Okay, Dr. Rajesh. Oh, goodness. Dr. Rajesh Shinde 16 times. It looks like you're the champion. Somebody needs to beat this record. So quick one.
How do I handle this, sir? Yeah.
Shinde Sahib, what you need to do is that you need to come up with a password scheme.
Okay.
So come up with something which is like personally meaningful to you.
Right.
Let's say, which nobody knows. It can
Yeah.
be, let's say, a childhood name, a song or something. Then make an alphanumeric version of that. Once you
Okay.
make an alphanumeric version of that, then what you should do is that for every platform, do it differently. Let's say you say PQZ970
Mhm.
hash, uh, then put Gmail in front of that, right? So
Okay.
it becomes nonsensical. See, why nonsensical? Because any kind of logical attacks are not successful on this.
Okay.
Because anybody who's running a dictionary attack basically, runs a dictionary against your names and plus adds all kinds of things like 1, 2, 3, 4 or whatever generally people would be adding. But do one thing, try and add platform name in front or back of it and change all your password. Second
Okay.
is enable two-factor authentication so
Okay.
that even if it is compromised, do it right now. And maybe, just as a take home from this, enable two-factor authentication on everything. Also enable locks on your devices. So if
Okay.
your device is not locked, generally iPhone it has a face lock and other things, but Android has those pattern locks. But enable locks on this thing. You can also individually lock apps. I'm an iPhone user, so I've not used Android for a long time, but you can lock apps. So your banking apps and other apps, even if your phone is stolen, let's say, you can lock them separately. And apart from locking them separately on the device, you should also have a two-factor authentication. That two-factor authentication should, and there are 3 kinds of two-factor authentication. One is that you can have these apps, which are two-factor authentication apps, which create a keychain, right? It creates a long hash digit or sometimes a number, which is available only to you. And it's not an SMS. Because sometimes the attacks are so brilliant that they are also hijacking your SMS. That if your device is compromised, then your SMS or your notifications are hijacked. The notification is taken and hidden and sent to the attacker, and you don't know. So let's say they're doing bank transactions on your behalf. They would take this thing pin or notification, hijack it, send to the attacker. The attacker would use it, that OTP, make the transaction, and the transaction uh, result would also not come to you. It would be suppressed as a notification. So this happens. So please, today, uh, Dr. Rajesh Mankani says 6 times for him. Others are not, saying, please tell how many times you have been this thing. So, uh, what does this mean? Have I been PWNED? So PWNED is basically the hacker terminology for owned, like they own you, right? So they say, so it says, have I been owned? So is somebody owning you? If somebody has your email and your password or your credentials, then they're literally owning you. They can do anything. They can pretend to be you, right? And they can use your accounts. They can transact on your behalf. They can commit a crime. They can send a threat. They can post on your behalf. They can do whatever they want. Now, to prevent this, use complex passwords, have a password scheme, use long passphrases, use two-factor authentication, Also for Android users, there is one vulnerability which is called side loading, that sometimes people don't want to pay for apps. So they do this APK loading. And to install this APKs, you have to basically go and disable safe settings and say that you can install things from untrusted sources. And only by lowering the bar like this, you are basically installing something. See, and generally it is laced with malware. It is laced with malware. And malware today is very smart. It can create fake screens on top of your apps. So let's say you're using a banking app, it creates a fake screen. It creates a transparent a screen, and you're basically interacting with it. That you're typing in it, it takes your credentials and transfers it to the attacker. And then it can also genuinely take you back to the app, and you don't know because it's seamless. So be careful, maintain device hygiene. See, today the irony is that your laptop is not as dangerous as your mobile, because your mobile is with you everywhere. Yeah. And your most intimate conversations, all your contacts, your location, everything is on your mobile. And still we do not have protections for mobile. Like if we have antiviruses for laptops, but today the mobile processor is better than the laptop. It has almost memory equivalent to a laptop. It has much more personal information. Your digital transactions, your digital ID is sitting more on the mobile than on the laptop. So protect the mobile like you would protect your life. And somewhere we are not aware. That's why I was saying that being tech savvy doesn't mean that you are also digitally aware. So hence, these small hygiene tips, that do not install any such apps. Also be careful of public Wi-Fi, because it's almost like putting a USB stick in your laptop, because on any, even let's say a college network, any public Wi-Fi is like allowing somebody a direct connection. It's through a Wi-Fi, but it's like a direct connection. It's a network connection to your device. And generally, if somebody wants to get into your device through a public Wi-Fi, they would find it very, very easy. See, today data is cheap. So as soon as you go to airport, just don't start latching onto airport free Wi-Fi. Because, I can take a small dongle and create the SSID as airport free Wi-Fi, right? Or I can go to a cafe and take a small dongle and create a Wi-Fi network saying that it is cafe free Wi-Fi. And anything free, we latch onto it. So that free is not free, because there are no free lunches. Questions quickly on the chat.
Hello.
Yeah.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah.
Go on.
Sir, there's a question on the chat box which says, sir, what if our family member has been catfished and they have been accidentally sent them money, but many a times the cyber security never responds on time. So how do we handle it?
See, I'll tell you what is happening is that there's an overwhelming number of cases. And I understand the victim's perspective that they need somebody to respond to them very quickly. But see, the failure has happened at many levels. The failure has happened at the level of the platform, which, see, the platform is so careful about copyrighted music that if you want to upload a YouTube video where there is background music playing on, which is copyrighted, they won't allow it. But these platforms are allowing people to groom small children, to put child sexual abuse material for fraudsters to impersonate people, to run these fake recruitment schemes, scholarship schemes, payment schemes, money double schemes. They are allowing them. So there's failure which is happening at various levels. Also, for investigation, it becomes very difficult, because it is difficult to get data from these platforms and service providers. And let me tell you that this cyber kill chain, which I was talking to you about, it operates as a very well-oiled machinery. It has 7 stages. One is called recon. In recon is reconnaissance, wherein they are just collecting data, right? They're trying to find out who you are, what you are, and it can happen at many levels. It can happen at technical levels, wherein they are, let's say, finding who are the people who are using an older version of Android, which is unpatched and which has a backdoor which is available, or which are people who are using an older version of, or a pirated copy of Windows, through which you can get into backdoors, so on and so forth. Or people who are using apps which may have vulnerabilities. So they can scan this. Apart from your personal information which you put, it can be scanned and sold. Now, once this is sold, it goes to people who can create exploits. So in the second stage, there are specialists. So there are Android specialists, there are iOS specialists, there are specialists who work on the Windows system, there are specialists who work for communication devices. They create, so now your data has gone, it has been categorized, and there are people who are ready to monetize this. They understand what is your potential, much better than bank, much better than your CIBIL score, much better than you. They understand what is your paying capacity, what are your interests, and then it goes to somebody who can draft and craft a message at the third stage. And all of this operates independently. So I'm telling you that there's a machinery which is sitting there, and it's very, very difficult to bring this machinery down because it's distributed. It's everywhere. You don't know. You saw like somebody was playing the prank. They feel that they are anonymous. But see, they can be found out. But the amount of effort it takes to locate and hunt somebody down, when this starts happening in, let's say, thousands per minute, is slightly difficult. I'll complete the cyber kill chain and then tell you why it is difficult to respond to cyber crimes. Now, after somebody, the people who make these messages, they create delivery mechanisms. Now, the people who deliver this, then comes the hacker team, which starts exploiting, or the social engineer who start doing calls, right? There are call centers. Like I told you, the cyber call centers in Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia, or you must have heard about Jamtara, or there are call centers in Mewat now. And these are the people who run these cyber call centers. And it's a very well-oiled machinery which is running. And after that, then there is a huge network which is called money mules. So if they have been able to extort you, if they've been able to take money, the money goes into thousands of accounts immediately. So let's say they've taken 10,000 rupees from you. So, 500 rupees would go into different accounts. Then it would be shown as legit transactions. It would go as UPI transactions. It would go as anything, right? And then this money would flit away. It's like, opening a can of flies. They just disappear. Once they disappear, see, tracking these transactions in real time is difficult because they are happening on different platforms, from one bank to another, and they are taking advantage because nobody has this complete data. Nobody is looking at this data in its entirety. That from a WhatsApp pay, money is gone. From there, it's either going to a merchant or to a UPI or to a Paytm or some purchase, or somebody's purchasing something on Amazon, somebody is taking a voucher. This all is happening in real time. Then finally it lands to money mules, from where it is aggregated. And once it's aggregated, it is sent out through cryptocurrency. This happens all in half an hour. It's called a financial kill chain. I've written extensively about it. I'll give you this reference material and you can refer to it. So imagine this, as once the money is gone, then it becomes very, very difficult. But you should look at, RBI circulars. RBI has limited the liability of the customer to 25,000 rupees if there is no contributory negligence. Now, contributory negligence is basically sharing your OTP or installing an app or things like that. If you haven't done anything, and if you report it within a particular time, I think it's probably 3 days, you may cross-check it. So check the RBI's, circular. It would be very helpful if somebody has been in your family has been defrauded. Apart from reporting in on cybercrime.gov.in, you can also report anonymously here. Note it down: cybercrime.gov.in. You can report. And also when you report, see, this evidence is ephemeral because they are wiping the evidence. Today, somebody can delete a chat from their end. Once you realize that something has happened, immediately shut off your connection, take screenshots, right? Take screenshots as evidence, because if you're online, they are going to just wipe off, right? Delete the chat, take away the evidence. So keep this evidence, make a series of how it happened. When were you first contacted? What did that person say? What was the, on what platform you were contacted? What was the message? What was the lure used? If there are any fragments of that communication, screenshots, preserve them, put this all on cybercrime.gov.in. Now, cybercrime.gov.in is run by central government. They send it to states where it is investigated upon. And I'll tell you why it is difficult to investigate, because it's happening in real time. And I told you that it's not something simple that money has just gone out of your account. Money has gone out of your account. It has spread into 10 different kind of platforms. From there, it's literally flying in real time and then crossing through cryptocurrency and going out. That is why it is difficult. It is really difficult for law enforcement because they are genuinely trying. But see, there is something called KYC norms, know your customer norms. And until and unless platforms, banks, wallets fix this, it is not going to happen. See, when Aadhaar came, there was a debate about privacy versus people had fears of state surveillance and things like that, that, state is going to take my information. Aadhaar is just a one-to-one authentication mechanism. It just tells you whether it is Brijesh Singh on this side or not. It doesn't store any data. It doesn't store any data. It doesn't store any data of your transactions. And now, after all these years, Aadhaar never became the fearful state surveillance mechanism. It was a platform built. It was the largest public digital infrastructure. And you see how Government of India built this digital public infrastructure. When you go across the world, people are amazed at how India is running DPI, digital public infrastructure, wherein, if you are a beneficiary of some scheme, you have something called DBT, direct benefit transfer. Now, how DBT works is, let's say if some subsidy is to be passed to farmers. Let's say people have lost their crop in heavy rains and government is giving them some kind of compensation. Let's say government is giving them 50,000 rupees per farmer. Earlier, this money would go to the district collector. From there, these people would have to apply, stand in lines, find out somebody who has some linkages, so on and so forth. Today, it's not happening. Aadhaar has been linked to a Jan Dhan account where you can authenticate, and with the press of a button, this money goes instantly. This has also led to transparency. So in the first year when Aadhaar was implemented, it led to a saving of 70,000 crores. Imagine this, that this was the kind of leakage which was going out of our systems. 70,000 crores was the amount which was saved in the first year of Aadhaar. And way back, in Maharashtra also, when we first linked student scholarships to Aadhaar, we found that 3.5 lakh applicants just vanished because they didn't exist, right? So there are these mechanisms of authentication. However, what happened was that certain privacy advocates went to court and they did not allow Aadhaar to be linked and PAN to be linked to bank accounts. And mobile numbers to be linked to bank account. Now, if all that was linked, then probably you would find it very, very difficult for the fraudsters to commit crime. Today, what happens is that you go to an account and that account is not real because the account may be in the name of Dr. Rajesh Mankani, but he doesn't even know. Somebody has hacked his email, taken his documents, opened an account in Asansol. He doesn't know. He's not even aware of this account, that this account is being operated in his name, or that SIM cards have been taken in his name, or somebody is running a social media profile or a WhatsApp with his own picture, and impersonating to be him. So this is a huge question, that there is something broken in the governance of the internet, which allows people to do this. And howsoever you see, investigation is post facto, that you can investigate, you can find out, but until and unless this whole digital cybercrime ecosystem is not brought down, this whole machinery, this cyber kill chain, which operates in this harvesting of credentials to making malware, to spreading it, to money mule networks, to the crypto chaps, to the launderers, if this is not brought down, which is difficult to bring down, because they are using anonymity, they are using encryption, they are sitting somewhere, they are using VPS, they are using VPN. You saw that kid, he was, anonymously. See, it's not very smart to find a bug in the Zoom and then try to impersonate somebody and be the host. And it gives a kick, right? It gives that kid some kind of a dopamine kick, thinking that kid is very smart. But the consequences are real. Tomorrow his name can be in newspapers and he will lose all he would never, if he wants to go to a foreign country, he would never, or he or she would never get a chance. There are consequences. But the problem with financial cybercrimes is that the problem has become very huge, is that thousands of these things are happening. Also remember banking ombudsman, apart from investigation, see 19330 is one number. Somebody has written 1931. No, 1930 is the number. There is something called banking ombudsman also. So you can also refer to banking ombudsman, which is a separate channel. The banking ombudsman does not need an FIR. They need a disputed payment, and you can dispute this payment. But thing is, try and talk to banking ombudsman, or try and register your complaint within the golden hour or within the golden day immediately, because as you lose time, your money is already flying across and it becomes difficulty. And let me tell you, once the money is gone, it's actually difficult to get that money back. And this is happening. Crores and crores of Indian money is just flying, hard-earned money, right? You would have done some gig jobs or something. You realize that to earn 10,000 rupees is very, 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 very difficult. Once that money goes, it's very difficult to take it back. And hence, unless until this KYC is repaired, until and unless this platforms take responsibility for the kind of harm which is being caused, until and unless, again, there is an enablement of getting information. Because today, when we ask for information, it becomes difficult. The platforms do not respond in time, and that too in India. But imagine if you have to get this information from any other country. There are hostile countries, there are different countries, and the cyber criminals actually take advantage of this. They put themselves in such countries where, let's say, we do not have an extradition, or that where the law enforcement is not proper. They place themselves in the loopholes, where in the cracks of the system where things fall down. And they know this, they have taken advantage of this, and hence it is difficult. And that is why, if you find that somebody is not getting the kind of reaction or response they want, it is because of this, that it is a tough question. Other questions? Somebody is listed so far on Alex.
Yes, sir. There's a question on the chat box which mentions that the student was hacked with a smaller amount, and when he tried to contact 1931, so the
1930.
officials couldn't,
Yeah, I understand that. But 1930, see, you can go to 1930, you can go to cybercrime.gov.in, then you can also put a disputed complaint to the bank, go to banking ombudsman. These are multiple channels, and they are all parallel. So you can take advantage of all these multiple channels, depending upon the money that you have lost. And the RBI is again and again putting the responsibility of this to the platforms, to the banks, and you would find that they come up with better practices. Because you understand that if a telecom service is running, don't they know that there's a place which is running 100 SIM cards which are doing only outgoing calls? They know this, right? Isn't it their ethical responsibility to understand that there is some kind of fraud call center running this? How do you allow somebody to be running a fake call center with hundreds of cards situated at one place which are making only outgoing calls? So there is an ethical responsibility on the part of platforms, on the part of telecom companies, on the part of all these different apps which are running wallets and this and that. So when this fails, it actually comes to law enforcement, and then it becomes difficult because you're going again back to those people who have failed you, right? Your wallet has failed you, your social media platform has failed you, your telecom service operator has failed you. And then we are going again back to them to get data for investigation. Investigation is a slow process. You have to go by evidence. Thankfully, Indian laws have changed, and we have the BNSS, the BSA, and the BNS, which are, let me tell you, that our new acts are very digitally aware. That earlier it was difficult to establish what is called the provenance or the integrity of digital evidence. Today, with this, you can establish digital evidence. Digital evidence is something called primary evidence. Today, LLB students and law students would understand this, that it is primary evidence, and it has become easier now to prosecute cyber criminals using this. I think I have 3 minutes left. Any quick questions? I hope it has been useful for you all.
So there's one more which
Yeah.
mentions about watching of a series on Netflix,
Mhm.
Pritam and
Yeah.
Fedri, wherein it was all surrounded with cyber security. And in that series, it shows how the hackers access the person's devices by, capturing where all he is moving around. So
Right,
the
right,
student
right.
wants to ask whether actually are there any such apps which have the capturing power of monitoring the house, the institution, or the place where the person is going on.
Yes, ironically, see, depends on who you are. So let's say, earlier you would have heard of Pegasus, that people felt that their, phones were being compromised with some Israeli spyware. See, it depends on who you are. If you are heading a large corporation, because these things are expensive. So somebody is not going to spend, let's say, 10 lakh rupees on compromising your phone because it doesn't return that much. But somebody who's very important, let's say a prime minister, a general, or CEO of a bank, uh, or of an institution, they would understand that these are valuable people, and then there are definitely. So there is an interesting engine called Shodan and Census. Shodan and CENSYS. It actually it's an internet, it's a Google for real devices which are open. So now while we are talking, you can get into shodan.io and see how many people's home cameras are open to internet. You don't even require to hack. You can go on Shodan right now. Sorry to teach you the wrong thing, but you would see unpatched cameras. You would see literally people's home cameras which are available on the internet, right? Or street cameras which are available on the internet. So similarly, Shodan or Census gives you access to these devices which are open, and from there you can get into it. There are also methods to compromise devices, which then are technical measures. Like the most simple measure to compromise a phone is basically asking you to install some surreptitious APK, wherein it becomes like a remote desk or any desk, that you are giving complete control of your device. And if they control your device, they can put your camera on anytime, they can put your mic on anytime, they have location to your access, they have access to your location, they can make calls on your behalf, they can send SMSs on your behalf. Your device can be run remotely. So it's possible, technically possible. But it's expensive, it's difficult, it's not very easy. So if you are somebody who is very important to them, then they would spend that kind of time and energy on you. But yes, technologically, it's possible.
So could you spell it out? There are queries raised that if it could be spelled out.
Shodan is an engine. Similarly, it's CENSYS. It is also an engine. It's a search engine. You can search for them, and literally, yeah, Shodan, 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 and you can search it right now. IO, not OI. So you can go to these engines, and literally you can find cameras which are open right now in Mumbai. One day I could find an energy plant which was open. I'd imagine this. So these called IoT and OT, and these are technologies to control large machines, and it was totally open on the internet. So it's a funny place. So we have taken to this technology. We are swimming in the sea without knowing what kind of sharks and jellyfishes are around. But the only way is to learn the map, to understand this, and to drive responsibly. Be responsible. Don't be like that kid. See, whatever I told you must be essential to you. It would help you someday in life. By having some fun, if that was getting disrupted, it was not in anybody's interest. So use the net responsibly. Also, there are things which are here. They are like a lot of bullying happens. Like a lot of unfortunately, the term used is called revenge porn. Is that people get into relationships, they share intimate photos, and after a time, if things don't work well, they expose them anonymously. They send it out to sites, and they post it at various places. All this has consequences. People have committed suicide. and has serious psychological consequences. Understand that all laws which apply offline also apply to online behavior, right? So what you cannot do in real life, you cannot do also online. Simple rule, and have basic common sense. These are technologies, they are huge enablers, but they are like fire. You can cook food or you can burn your house. It's up to you. Use it responsibly. I think my time is up. I've taken 3 minutes more. I hope it has been useful.
Yes, sir. Very much. Thank you so much, sir. Any questions, anybody?
What you can do is you can also collect the questions and I can answer them separately. I don't want to encroach upon the time of the next speaker.
No, so we are done for the day. You're the second and the last speaker for the day today, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Again, a very big thank you to you, sir, for taking out your time and being with us and obliging us with your so much knowledge. And I read your articles. It was fantastic about the crime detection through the Zomato and Swiggy apps and all that. I think
Right.
paper mein aaya tha. And also ek aur tha, which I would like you to come and take a lecture, that fraud as a service, jo aaj I think
Right.
topic hai.
Yeah,
FAS.
that's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if time willing, sir, if you we can just
sure.
you to come and address our students for that, sir.
Yeah, and congratulations, you are starting a cybersecurity course
Yes.
in your institution. That's huge. And so I'll be very happy to help in whatever way possible.
Absolutely, sir. That is the need of the hour, and under your guidance, definitely we will be able to make it worthwhile for everybody. Yeah. Yeah. So, Karishma,
So
vote of
we
thanks.
have Vidhi. Yeah, we have Vidhi to propose the vote of thanks, sir. Vidhi?
Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Yes.
I cannot switch on my camera. There is some issue with the.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Very good afternoon to all present here. As we come to the close of today's enriching sessions of the Master Induction Series 2026, it is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks. First and foremost, I express my sincere gratitude to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Colonel Professor Dr. Hemlata Bagla, whose vision and leadership have made the Master Induction Series 2026 a truly meaningful and enriching experience for our students. Such initiatives reflect the university's commitment to holistic learning and the all-round development of every student. On behalf of HSNC University, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed speakers for sharing their invaluable knowledge and experiences with us. Firstly, I would like to express our sincere appreciation to Mr. Ketan Kothari, Managing Consultant, Programs, Antarchakshu, and Ms. Disha Kapadia, Lead Consultant, Awareness and Policy Engagement, Antarchakshu, for conducting the insightful session on becoming an inclusive peer. Your thought-provoking discussion on disability inclusion, empathy, accessibility, and the importance of creating an inclusive society has inspired all of us to become more aware, compassionate, and responsible individuals. The practical insights and experiences they have shared have encouraged us to view inclusion not merely as a responsibility, but as a way of life. I also extend our deepest gratitude to Shri Brijesh Singh, IPS, Principal Secretary to the Government of Maharashtra, for delivering such an enlightening session on cybersecurity. Sir, your valuable guidance on cyber safety, responsible digital behavior, online threats, and cyber awareness has equipped our students with practical knowledge that is indispensable in today's digital world. We are truly honored by your gracious presence and sincerely appreciate the time you have taken to interact with our students. I would also like to express my heartfelt gratitude to our respected registrar, deans, faculty members, and the entire university administration for the constant guidance, encouragement, and support in making today's program a grand success. A special word of appreciation goes to the organizing committee, volunteers, the technical team, and the support staff whose tireless efforts behind the scenes ensured the smooth and successful conduct of today's program. Finally, I extend my sincere thanks to all our students for their enthusiastic participation, curiosity, and active engagement throughout both the sessions. Your eagerness to learn is what makes programs like these truly meaningful. May I now request everyone present to kindly rise for the national anthem.
हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधितरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you and have a wonderful day ahead.
I think the sir has left.
Yes, participants, you all may leave the meeting now and we'll be resuming tomorrow by 9:30 a.m. Thank you so much.
In physical mode in the auditorium.
Yeah, in physical mode, everybody.
Chalo. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.